Peace, peace, peace. We about to get started. Can y'all hear me? Can y'all hear me? Am I coming in good? Peace, peace, peace. Peace to everybody. Can y'all hear me? Am I coming in good? Yes, we about to get started. Shout out to everybody in the building. We already got 100 people in the building. Shout out to everybody in the building. Black Adam, shout out to you. You changed your name? Because I think your name is Sierra Milan now. You changed it? Shout out to Hood Mistress. You right on time. Shout out to my first moderator, Jason March, for gifting people 20 memberships. Family, if he gifted you a membership, make sure you say thank you. And if he gifted you a membership, keep it going. Also, family, you can support the stream, PayPal, Cash App, or you can do the super thanks, the super chat, the super sticker. We take it all. Whole lot of ones beat a whole lot of nuns any day of the week. Shout out to President Jafar. Shout out to I think it's Dante. Dante, the visionary. I can't even see. But you see, he's supporting with the fire emojis. Make sure you support. If you ain't got no money, you can support with fire emojis. I'm loud and clear. Thank you. Shout out to Missouri. Yeah, but let's get started with no further ado. Thank you, Vibe2, for the fire emojis. But yeah, let's get started. We're going to start off the stream with something positive. Something real positive. Here we go. For all you who don't know, Chud the Builder shot himself. That's right. Chud the Builder shot himself. Shout out to LA. Chud the Builder shot himself. Because he's a goofy. What seemed to have happened is he got into an argument with somebody. This wasn't him streaming. This was just a regular argument. And I guess the dude punched him. Then he tried to pull out his gun and shot himself. I think he shot the guy. He shot the guy too, but he also shot himself. Like, he's total bozo, don't know how to use a gun. And this is what I was talking about. When I said when he's streaming, he doesn't have a gun. Going up to him while he's not streaming, he might have that gun on him. But in this case, I was right. He wasn't streaming. He had a gun on him. And he accidentally shot himself. But yeah, let's look into this. Yes, pre-sale, I'm live in 2 different places. I'm live in 4 different places, actually. But yeah, let's get into this. Let's get into it. Let's see if we can find some videos about this. Let's see if this is the kid. Let me see if this is the video right here, because I ain't watched this. Let's see.
I walked up to them because they were pointing at me. They were laughing. They were pointing at me, and I said, "What's up, guys? How y'all doing?" I said, "Y'all like the new suit?" He said, "Walk away from me." I walked away from him. He came back up to me. He literally said, "I have PTSD. I feel like I'm in." He said, "You start saying all that chimp out shit to me, I'm gonna hit you." He hit me, started wailing on me, even after I had to defend myself by shooting him. He's still wailing on me.
Where's your weapon at?
They have everything.
What weapon is that right there? Is that yours?
Yeah. Yeah.
He's talking. Oh no, you guys are good. Do your thing. Okay. He has a graze. I call it a graze to the left shoulder, left arm. He has slight abrasion right here on his head. Maybe some scrapes. Light headedness. No shortness of breath. No issues with memory that I know of.
Hey, what's up with that?
A little overwhelmed, but
What's up with this one?
You got a shot to the stomach.
I'm gonna look at it.
did I shoot myself or
Well, you
did it graze it?
penetrated, yeah. We get this
I got more 4x4 for you too.
So you heard it from the bozo's mouth himself. He shot himself. So what happened was he was at court. The bozo saw some people laughing. He went up to them and asked them what they laughing about or whatever the case may be. We already heard what he said. And then they was like, get away from us and don't be coming up to us with that chimp out stuff, or you're gonna get hit. He walked away. According to him, he got hit. He was getting beat up. He tried to shoot the dude. He shot himself while trying to shoot the dude, and the dude still was beating him up. Now, Chud the Builder is a bozo, and this is what happens to you when you work around being a bozo. The sad part about this is that Chud the Builder might get off with self-defense. According to his story, yeah, he might get off with a self-defense case because I think this happened in Tennessee, and this is a stand your ground state. And for all you don't know, stand your ground is a redefinition of self-defense. It is a disgusting, disgusting law that is not necessary. So he might be able to get off with it because that's how stand your ground work. If you say, "Oh, I feel threatened," even though if you started it or you're provoking the situation, you don't have no duty to retreat. You can use any level of force to defend yourself. Blah 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 blah. So yeah, he could possibly get off with a self-defense case, especially if the dude hit him first. That's the only sad part about this. But shout out to the brother. I hope he's doing fine. Let me see if we can find a picture of the brother because I saw a picture of him. Let me see. Let's see if we can find a picture of the brother that Chud the Builder shot while trying to shoot him, while he shot himself. I just saw this. I didn't hear that he was dead. I heard he got like shot in the leg. Yeah, they say he's in stable condition. He not dead. Talking about he got shot. He's dead. And again, all this whole race war narrative that people keep saying that, oh, this is the Chud works for the elites to try to start a race war. We already in a race war. We never stopped being in a race war. The only difference is that the race war went from bullets and bombs to dollars and ballots. That's it. And also, people talking about, oh, he's trying to start a race war. They're trying to divide us. We already divided. We are already divided. We not no one people. We already divided. We already divided. This whole nonsense that, oh, the elites are tricking white people into being racist, and they're tricking us to fighting each other. That's a lie. That may have been true hundreds of years ago, but that is not true now. You can get rid of every so-called elite today and get rid of all their propaganda and all their tricks. Guess what? You're still going to be dealing with racist white people. It is what it is. And I would venture to say that the majority of the white population would be in that racist white people category. This ain't got nothing to do with no damn elites. Maybe some elite somewhere is stirring the pot. Maybe not. But this what happened regardless. You do know white people threw everything away to be racist, right? It's not like nobody got tricked. People knew that by turning on the Democrats in the 60s, they were going to have a lower standard of living. But they was going to be able to push back against the civil rights movement. And you know what? The majority of white people went for it. Same thing during the Civil War and Reconstruction. Reconstruction mainly was a benefit to poor white Southerners. They were benefiting from Reconstruction more than black people. Only way I would say black people effectively benefited more because slavery ended. But otherwise than that, as far as resources and being built up, poor white people were being built up more during Reconstruction than black people. And guess what? They threw it all away to be racist. They turned on the Freedmen's Bureau. They turned on the Carpetbaggers. They turned on the Fusion Party. They turned on the Republicans. They turned on these people to follow behind a bunch of racist white slave owners former slave owners who didn't give a damn about them. Remember, the South was like effectively the richest region on earth. The American South was effectively the richest region on earth. So you can understand how rich the South was, you got to compare the South to the Gulf Coast states. When you think of a Southern planter, think of one of them Arab sheiks in Dubai or something like that. That's how rich they was. And the South was grossly underdeveloped. They had the ability to turn the South, that southern region, into the shining city of the world, and they didn't do it. They had all the money to do so and more, and they didn't do it. And those poor, racist white people decided that they rather follow behind those people and get nothing and still wallow in poverty, then you know what? We're going to roll with the fusion party and we're going to live better. Yeah, black people going to get a little something, but we're going to still get the most. They chose, man. So yeah, good. Good to see that the brother is in stable condition. Sending much love and respect to him. Chud the Builder, you're a bozo. If he's not able to get self-defense in this case, that's good too. That'd be even better. That'll be even better. Shout out to everybody in the building. Let's see what's going on in the chat. Let's see. I guess that's what he's doing, playing cowboy, and it backfired on him bad. Yeah, I think so. He brought a gun to court or something like that, or maybe he was going into the courtroom because, like it said, the dudes was across the street. He went up to them, asking them what they laughing at. So he probably went in his car, got his gun, and got back out his car, and then pressed them. So yeah, that's most likely what happened. I don't know if he's even supposed to have a firearm, but you know that's not relevant to like stand your ground cases, because it's like I know for a fact, like in Illinois, if you can shoot somebody with an illegal gun, like if you're not supposed to have a gun but you use it in self-defense, they'll just take the gun from you and they won't charge you for having the gun illegally. As far as I know, in Illinois, in New York, they still will. But yeah, shout out to everybody in the building. We got 150 in the building, 160 in the building. Shout out to all of y'all. So yeah, that's good. I want to also, speaking about shootings, matter of fact, since we speaking about Chud the Builder, let's look at this situation. Shout out to everybody in the building. Sneako and DJ Akademiks had a fallout based on Chud the Builder and his use of the N-word and and all that other stuff. I'm gonna say this. I haven't watched this video before, but I read the title and I'm gonna say up front, I agree with DJ Akademiks. I agree with it. We about to go watch this right now.
Something that only has meaning if we attribute meaning to this individual word.
Okay, if you say word has no meaning, say fuck Allah right now.
Is that what you're saying?
Oh. No, I'm saying I'm asking you to say, because it should have no meaning, right? There's a fucking meaning to it, right?
Okay.
Clearly. But you wouldn't say that, right?
Because do you not see the point that you're making? How are you equating God?
Words have meaning, brother.
How are you equating God, disrespecting God, the Almighty, something that we have faith in, to something that only has meaning if we attribute meaning to it? God has meaning without us. This hard R word, listen, this word only has the meaning that you give to it. Allah exists without us.
What you just told me, you can't disrespect God. Okay, get it, and I agree. But you can disrespect an entire group of people, and your solution to that is that entire group of people should just not be offended.
That word only has to this individual word.
Okay, if you say word has no meaning, say fuck Allah right now.
Is that what you're saying?
Oh. No, I'm asking you to say, because it should have no meaning.
Shout out to DJ Akademiks for laying the law down, because it's like, that is a fact. People constantly say words have no meaning. Oh, it doesn't matter and stuff like that. But he's asking you, if words have no meaning, say fuck Allah. That's like going to a Christian. Words have no meaning. Sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me. Well, say fuck your dad. Well, say fuck Jesus. You're not going to do it because you understand that words do have meaning. You're trying to put black people in a trick bag to sit around and accept disrespect. I'm happy DJ Akademiks did that. I'm happy he did that. Because Sneako, or whatever his name is, this is a bozo who be doing a bunch of plantation nigga shit. Like his whole shtick is running around playing plantation games. Because he like half black or something like that, right? Or like a quarter black. So yeah, he's playing the plantation role. For all you don't know, people that look and behave just like Sneako existed on the plantation. You had to deal with that shit on the plantation. A bunch of bozos running around here playing plantation games, trying to justify the unjustifiable that is happening against black people. Like we had to deal with that. I'm happy DJ Akademiks said that. Matter of fact, let me play. I think this is a fuller clip. Yeah, let's
word that doesn't have real meaning unless. Do you see how you're equating this individual word that doesn't have real meaning unless you to the holy book, to the word?
Every word has meaning, brother.
The word of God compared to a word about slavery, where slavery doesn't exist anymore.
No meaning,
you are equating the word of God to a slur that is outdated. Those two aren't the same. And that's the whole point. And that's the whole point. You cannot have those two things be equal. The word of God is not equivalent to this individual word.
Okay, if you say word has no meaning, say fuck Allah right now.
Is that what you're saying?
Oh. No, I'm asking you. I'm asking you to say it because it should have no meaning, right? There's a fucking meaning to it, right?
Okay.
Clearly. Like you wouldn't say that, right?
Because do you not see the point that you're making? How are you equating God?
Words have meaning, brother.
How are you equating God, disrespecting God, the Almighty, something that we have faith in, to something that only has meaning if we attribute meaning to it? God has meaning without us. This hard R word, listen, this word only has the meaning that you give to it. Allah exists without us.
What you just told me, you can't disrespect God. Okay, get it, and I agree. But you can disrespect an entire group of people, and your solution to that is that the entire group of people should just not be offended.
That word,
because you're doing both,
only has
whether you say the hard ER or you say fuck Allah.
Exactly. DJ Akademiks, I gotta clap it up for you. Because again, first of all, Sneako, again, playing the plantation games, talking about the word is outdated. It only has meaning if you give it meaning, which is not true. Words have meaning whether you believe that they have meaning or not. Also, talking about it's outdated, is connected to slavery. The N-word is not connected to just slavery. That's when you saying the N-word hard ER, you're not only connecting yourself to slavery, you're connecting yourself to Jim Crow, black codes, lynchings, mass incarcerations, the war on drugs, redlining, the ghetto, the creation of the ghetto in America, all these things, human experiments, everything. You're not just talking about an outdated term referencing something that happened hundreds of years ago. That's not it. And again, no, it would have been better if DJ Akademiks would have followed up and said, well, all right, you ain't going to say fuck Allah, say fuck Arabs. Say fuck Arabs. Say fuck Arabs. Or call Arabs sand niggas. Do that, Sneako. So, all right, we can't compare God to a group of humans because God exists outside of humanity. So I want you to say fuck sand niggas. Say fuck sand niggas, Sneako, or whatever other racial slur that people got for Arabs. Because I don't know too many racial slurs for Arabs. I don't know any, to be real. Only one I know ever heard of was like sand nigga. But tell him to say sand nigga. He wouldn't have said it. Why not? Because you're a Muslim and you wouldn't have disrespected Arabs. You wouldn't have did it. You'll disrespect their own blood in your veins, but you won't disrespect Arabs who gave you a religion. You won't do it. You won't do it. I'm so happy DJ Akademiks did this, and I heard that him and Sneako done fell out over this. Like, matter of fact, let me see. I think I heard that from. Let me see. Let me go to that. Shout out to everybody in the building. Shout out to everybody in the building. Oh wait, I think we got a super chat. Shout out to Vibe 2 for setting it off with the $4.99. Whole lot of ones beat a whole lot of nuns any day of the week. $1 helped the stream. We grateful for everything. Shout out. We got 200 people in the building. You should know better. Exactly. He should know better. But again, like I said, he's playing plantation nigga shit. He's playing plantation games. He's doing plantation nigga shit. That's what he's doing. That's what he's doing. That's what this is about. Plantation nigga shit. That's all he doing. That's all he doing. That's all he doing. That's all he doing. Yeah, I saw the chat on the video. That's why I had to take the what you call it, my thing down so people could see the chat. And there's a bunch of people just agreeing with Sneako. A bunch of weirdos agreeing with that weirdo. Shout out to everybody in the building. Shout out to everybody in the building. Oh, another thing. Why he didn't say fuck Jews? If words have no meaning, why he didn't say fuck Jews? Why he didn't say fuck Jews? Will he say fuck Jews? Will he say fuck the Holocaust? Will he say that? No. No, he wouldn't. We all know he wouldn't. But shout out to everybody in the building. I seen this. We're going to go on to this. Yeah, this is Poetic Flacco talking about the issue more. Because maybe something else happened that I ain't see.
Akademiks snapped and lost his patience for Sneako when they was having a conversation about Chud going around on stream calling black people the N-word and trying to antagonize us. And Sneako, for the most part, was offering up some level of defense for Chud, which Akademiks just felt like was out of line. And this conversation got really heated. Before we get the video started, this video is sponsored by Kalshi. Kalshi is a prediction market.
You should tell him to stop the rhetoric.
That's why
Meet
that somebody should do something violent to him.
Life. You can sign up with Kalshi by clicking the link in my description or using code Flacco to get $10 when you sign up.
Do you think that somebody should do something violent to him?
No, but I think they should meet him with the energy that he has, right? So
that's why I told him, I don't know why you're upset. I told him you should stop doing these IRL streams.
They should tell him to stop the rhetoric.
We should disarm the meanings of these words. We can't let words like that control us. Why is that the only word where people feel justified in America to act violently over it? There's no...
Because it's the most corrosive word in the English language. It's because of the history of America. Like, again, why people keep acting like they don't understand that literally the nation was built on white supremacy. Like when people talk about, oh, we're a colorblind nation. How could we be a colorblind nation when the founders of the nation were white supremacists? How could we be a colorblind nation where there's literally color written into the Constitution? Like, how is that possible? We're like the only nation on earth that had to fight a major civil war just to end slavery. We the only nation on earth that people still make their whole identity around white supremacy. That's it. That's all they got. That's why it matters. Everything in America is race. There's no institution that is in America that is not infected by race, that didn't have race baked into it, into its foundation, into its very fabric. That's why it matters. That's why it matters. And that word gets the visceral reaction that it gets.
No other word in the English language that elicits the same reaction that word does.
So I really like Sneako. I really do. I think Sneako is brilliant. I'm going to chalk this up to Sneako just being contrarian and say maybe he don't believe this.
He done did too much dick sucking to not believe this. Again, maybe he was at a time when he started doing this, he was just being contrarian. Maybe at a time he was just being a grifter. But like I said, there's a grifter to true believer pipeline, and he's on it.
Because, what just came out of his mouth, that rhetoric is so dangerous. The reason why it's dangerous is because it reaffirms all the white supremacist rhetoric. Think about every single one of them. Black folks are disproportionately violent. Well, that reaffirms it because these black folks are attacking you over words.
Yes, racism came from Europe, but again, Europe existed pre-racism. America is just racism. Like there is no, like you can't take the racism out of America. It's been there since the beginning. Like you can talk about European history and never mention racism. There's more to Europe than racism. Like there are whole European institutions that were not built on racism, that don't have racism baked into them. You can't say the same about America. That's the difference.
It's not a big deal. Black folks don't like accountability. Black folks want special privileges. Black folks want to be victims. It reaffirms every stereotype and every rhetoric they want to preach. But it not only reaffirms the rhetoric, but it also grants a pathway for the next step. They want to abuse us with no repercussions. Once you start giving an inch and you start conceding certain things such as, it's just a word, why is black folks the only one attacking people over words? Go up to somebody's wife and call them the B word and see if black folks are the only people attacking you over words.
He's teaching right now. He teaching right now. People, because that's how it starts. They want to be able to call you an N-word without no consequences. Remember, that's where where the black people are so violent rhetoric. I'm not going to say where it came from, but that's how we understand it now after slavery. That black people, no, in fact, not even after slavery, after the Jim Crow era. Because when Jim Crow ended, you still had white people being racist, openly racist to black people. But the difference is a lot of those white people got their ass kicked. And then that's when they got mad. Because it's like, well, why can't I call you a nigga just like my grandfather did without no repercussions? Why can't I put my hands on you like my grandfather did without no repercussions? Why can't I spit on you like my father did without no repercussions? A lot of this is people being mad that they can't do the things that their ancestors did, their parents did, their grandparents did without facing a consequence. And they trying to bring that back. Just like so below, so above. Like at the higher level, they bring in Jim Crow back with politicians. The politicians are trying to bring Jim Crow back in the courts. At the lower level, you got individual people like Chud trying to bring Jim Crow back where they can disrespect black people with no repercussions.
Go up to a Hispanic, go up to a white person, call their wife the B word in front of them, and see if black folks are the only one attacking you over words. They won't do it. And when I say they, not Sneako, obviously, because he's a black man, but people like Chud won't go up to a white man and call his wife a B word because they understand the B word is offensive. They understand it comes with consequences if you disrespect a man like that in front of his wife or his wife in front of a man. They understand this, but they went ahead and peddle this. Words are just words. Words don't mean nothing. Y'all put the negative connotation on the word. They only say that for the N-word. It's only the N-word they say that towards. And the next step is they're attempting to take the venom out the word so they could get rid of all the social parameters put in place to protect us, right? We have an understanding in society right now that if you expose yourself as a bigot and a racist, and if you're using words like that, there are consequences. You lose your job, you become a pariah. Everything right now that's happening to Chud is currently going on, right? But when we accept that narrative, it's just a word. Why y'all getting upset over a word? That now gives a clause to say, wait, yeah, it's just a word. Why are there social parameters put in place to punish people who use it? Let's not grant these people a free access to verbally abuse us with no consequence because we want to be philosophers, bro. Cut it out, man. And I think Sneako is brilliant, but I don't understand why Sneako would even want to contribute in helping to their cause.
So I'm not going to defend acting violent over a word. We can't repurpose. Okay. We can't repurpose history, right? And that word is.
But we do all the time. We do all the time. The word mean the same thing.
No.
Doesn't mean the same thing. Even the word doesn't mean the same thing. Okay. Black people have used it colloquially, and now that's a perfect. That actually the word you're talking about has been repurposed to be a term of endearment to mean anything.
Sneako, what I'm saying is that you can't repurpose history. I said
black people has been repurposed. It was a word to mean slave, and now it means
Sneako, you're being obtuse. The guy is hold on. The way he's saying what he's saying is a direct callback to slavery, brother. Like if you think it's not like he's saying it meaning something else. We know what he means. So you're trying to make this point like, oh, has been repurposed. Is that what he's saying? Is he?
Exactly. DJ Akademiks is correct because even Chud the Builder said it himself. he's doing this to try to train black people to stop being offended by a word. So or to not get violent over words. So or to teach them about freedom of speech, that it's okay to use offensive language because we live in America and we got a freedom of speech. So yes, he doesn't mean it in any way but to be offensive. That's out of his own words. He means it no other way. Like, you just making stuff up. I don't understand. I don't see the brilliance, Poetic Flacco. I'm keeping it a thou with you. I don't see the brilliance in Sneako, because this shit don't make no sense that he's saying. Exactly. Gaslighting and lying. Just outright lying. Shout out to everybody in the building. We got 250 in the building.
Like, oh, what up? Is that what he's saying? Or is he actually saying that, hey, you're a lesser human being, and I'm using this word to remind you of that? You tell me what he's saying.
He is saying that, but it only has
so why do we need to repurpose what he's saying? His hold on. His intentions are clear.
Here's the problem with what Sneako is saying, and I think Akademiks touch on this at some point in the video. I'm not sure. But here's the problem with what Sneako wants. Sneako is saying, hey, if we just repurpose what the N-word with the hard R means, if we start using it as a term of endearment, then, the power gets out the word. Bro, we use like the N-word with an A, right? As a term of endearment. And we still tripping if a white person say it. But it's not even about repurposing the word. I don't think Sneako understands. This man is not using the N-word with the hard R because, I don't know, right? He grew up around black people and that's just something he uses in his daily speech. So hence, if we repurpose the word, then him using it doesn't really affect us. No, he's using the word because that's what offends us. The moment, right, we start calling each other the N-word with the hard R, he's now going to find another word that's going to offend us. It's really that simple, right?
Exactly. That's why he's saying chimping out. Is chimping out connected to slavery? Or is that just a new term that white supremacists made up for black people? I think he also called the black person a monkey too. Saying chimping out is basically calling him a monkey anyway. But I know he directly called like a black person like a monkey before. And I think he called the black person a boy before too. These are all racial slurs. These are all racial epithets. Come on, man.
It's about him agitating, antagonizing, and trying to be offensive. The minute you convince yourself that the N-word with the hard R is a term of endearment and you start calling yourself that, he's going to find another word. He's going to find the word slave. He's going to start using slave now to offend you. And now you got to find a way to turn slave into a term of endearment. Now guess what? You're going to start calling yourself a slave? So all in all, he just going to start using the most derogatory word possible so hence he can sit back like this and watch you call yourself all the negative things he called you. That's not how you deal with these people. You deal with these people by tackling it head on, right? By ostracizing them, making them a pariah, putting them to the corners of society. That's how you deal with them, right? Like, for example, Pump Whatever. Them giving him a platform after everybody else demonetizes him. That's a problem, right? You want to make sure he cannot monetize off of verbally abusing us. That's the goal. The goal isn't, hey, black folks, hey, man, y'all gotta, stop being sensitive, man. No. That's not, no, we've been patient enough. That's not the solution. Solution here is make sure he can't monetize and benefit and profit off of verbally abusing us.
Exactly. And I'm going to go one step forward. Make sure he's not platformed. Because again, all right, we got a freedom of speech. But that doesn't mean you have the freedom to be heard and to be platformed. And that doesn't mean you're free from consequences from your speech. So yeah, I'm going to go one step forward. Not only make sure he's not monetized, but make sure he's deplatformed. And like you said, Pump, whatever this streaming service that gave him a platform and lets him get money off of it, they need to face a consequence too.
Now, again, Act touch on this, but it gets to a point where, like Sneako tells Act, why is he tripping on Chud when he uses the word every day on stream? That's when I sat back, hold on. Do Sneako think like nigga and the hard R are the same? I was like flabbergasted.
In slavery time.
Yes. He again, that's why I keep saying, like, why do you think this guy is smart? He's not smart. And if he is smart, he's doing a dumb job, a bad job of trying to be contrarian, of trying to like make academics seem like he don't know what he's talking about. He's not doing a smart job or a good job of that. Like, this is weird. I don't know why you bigging him up like as a smart person. No. He got no smarts. And again, if he does have smarts, he ain't using them in this argument.
All right, Sneako.
It wasn't a slur. That was the word for black people.
Sneako.
It became a slur because times changed.
All right, let me repeat again. I'm going to go slow this time because I see you're trying to get your point off without actually engaging.
Okay. I heard
Okay.
what you said. He's bringing back. He's talking
No.
about a time where it was degrading.
His intention. Let's not say, oh, let's take the power out of the word. Because if we took the power out of that word, he would use whatever word that had the power. Let's not try to give him
That's the only word that has power.
Brother, if he had to call you a slave, he would just say slave. Come on. The point is, his goal is to offend. Let's stop acting like his goal is to say a word and we're triggered by the word. And like, in some of the original laws where black people are seen as 3/5 of a human, that's not oppressive, right? That's just words. You 3/5 a whole, same thing. So that's not oppressive.
Of course it is. Does that still exist?
But it existed. My point is
exactly. It's in the past, so let it be in the past.
No.
So let go. So this is how we move forward. Instead of
wait. So this is in the past. So this guy is basically allowed to bring back up the past, right? Use racial slurs and try to almost treat people like we're in the past, but yet we're supposed to let go of the past.
Exactly. He's hearkening back to the past by calling black people the N-word and the way he's doing. He even said it himself. He's disrespecting black people on purpose to train them to be okay with disrespect because we live in America and we got freedom of speech. Also, Seiko, you know what else is in the past? The Holocaust is in the past. Go ahead and get on your platform and engage in Holocaust denial. Or disrespect Auschwitz or something like that. And let's see how much that's in the past. Let's see how much that's in the past. Again, disrespect Arabs. Go find out how the Arabs, colonial masters, disrespected them, and go disrespect Arabs that same way. And we're going to see how much in the past things are.
You think we got...
Okay, is he acting like a slave master? He's a rage baiter on street.
Brother, brother. I hear how he's talking to black
holding
people.
Holding a selfie camera in public. He's hardly a slave.
Talking like Abraham Lincoln. He's talking like a slave master. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Abraham Lincoln freed the slaves, but you use that word all the time. You probably use that word, this exact word.
Yeah, but that's my point. He did engage in some Holocaust denial, but he's not doing it like Chud the Builder. And when he did engage in some Holocaust denial, he got a consequence. It wasn't none of this freedom of speech, all this and that. Nobody was hearing none of that. Like, they don't play with Holocaust denial. They don't play with you attacking the Jews. Look, because he was trying to link up with Kanye. See what happened to him? They debanked him. Kanye lost how much money? He lost the majority of his fortune. He's not even a billionaire no more because of that. He's basically a social pariah. Like, nobody bangs with Kanye. Nobody cares about Kanye. He can't get on no major platform and like talk his talk. Come on now. Come on. I didn't like that neither, but again, that's not the point of this video. Like, I don't we talking about Seiko Chud the Builder and they racist white slurs. Exactly. He won't he tried to dibble and dabble in the anti-Semitic stuff, and then he realized, oh wait, ain't no money in this. Oh wait, there's real consequences in this. This is why, again, when DJ Akademiks said say fuck Allah, he wouldn't say it because he knows there'll be real consequences to that. See, that's the game. They want to be able to disrespect black people without there being no real consequences. That's what this all come down to. Exactly. Shout out to Jeff for bringing this point up, because that exactly happened. You had black people literally being charged with hate crimes and felonies, facing real prison time for arguing with Asian people. For arguing. Mind you, the Asian person started a lot of these situations. The Asian person started the argument. It's on video that the Asian person started the argument. The black person simply arguing with them back, not advocating for violence, not engaging in no violence, and they would hunt black people down like dogs. Excuse me, like wild animals, and have them facing all day in prison. Not all day, but had them facing a lot of time in prison just for arguing with them. Just for arguing with them. Like, how much times you have people accused of engaging in anti-Asian hate for so-called microaggressions? Like, oh, an Asian person, like, oh, I'm an Asian person. I sat next to somebody and they got up. I sat next to somebody and they put their mask up. Oh my God, I'm being discriminated against. Somebody help me. And you'll have people hunting people down, again, like wild animals, to find people for these quote-unquote microaggressions against them. And they was only doing that to black people, by the way, also. Because shout out to the Asian dude, I forgot his name, but he pointed out that 90% of quote-unquote anti-Asian violence and quote-unquote crimes and microaggressions and all that other stuff were being committed by white people. Again, with Sneako at the height of Stop Asian Hate, have been running around calling people chinks and all that other stuff. He wouldn't have did it. He wouldn't have did it. He wouldn't have did it.
That you're angry about is the word that you probably use the most in your stream, is it not?
The hard ER? Oh.
It's the same word.
No, it's not. No, it's not.
Yes, it's
no,
the same exact word.
No, it's not.
Look,
like he thinks he's smart. This is not smart. Everybody knows it's not the same word. Even a racist will tell you it's not the same word. Like how is this intelligence? Like, I don't know. Maybe because I don't watch this dude and I don't know his get down. But where's the intelligence? Somebody got to direct me to the intelligence, bro.
What did black slaves call other black slaves in slave times?
Yeah. At this point, I think Sneako was just arguing to argue because, like, what are we doing? Obviously, under no circumstances is saying the N-word. And yo, have you ever heard black people refer to each other as the hard R? When did the N-word and the hard R become the same thing? I'm confused. Akademiks did a thought experiment on Sneako, and it kind of unraveled everything Sneako said here. So Akademiks then told Sneako, oh, okay, well, how would you feel if Chud was going around to Muslims saying F Allah, F Muhammad? How would you feel? Sneako doesn't say, well, we'll just repurpose what the F word means and we'll repurpose it to, now the F word means praise. But he ain't going for none of that, which he shouldn't go for. He shouldn't play with his religion. But this effectively gives Akademiks the W, because by Sneako's logic, if Sneako was consistent with himself, he would say, well, we'll just change what the F word means, right? If he's saying F Allah, we'll just, repurpose the F word to mean something positive. He doesn't go there. He goes to an automatic no. Then if you can understand why you can't repurpose a disrespect towards Allah or Muhammad, then you should understand why black people shouldn't have to repurpose the disrespect.
There's always going to be a thing that will be disrespectful. You get what I'm saying? It doesn't matter if it's a word. It might be an action that might even not be violent, right? Like if he shows up to the mosque and everybody praying on them carpets, he whips on the carpet. Is that disrespectful or not?
That's literally illegal. That's public indecency. Like, that's also pissing that, like,
all right, he just does it. But it's
and also what he's doing to black people is illegal. That's harassment. That's disorderly conduct. You can't just go up to random people, follow them around, record them without their permission, and harass them and call them names. Chud the Builder would have been in prison if he had did this to Mexicans. He would have been in prison if he had been doing this to Chinese people. He would have been in prison if he not prison, but jail. If he had been doing this to Jews, he would have been in jail. He would have been in jail. You think you could walk around New York City and Williamsburg following Jews around, talking saying a bunch of anti-Semitic stuff with no consequences? That's out. The Jewish police would have handled you. You and you would have been, and it would have been best if they had the regular NYPD with them while they was handling you, because they might have disappeared you and nobody would have ever saw or heard from you again.
Now being in public.
All right, he spits on it. He spits on it. He spits on the rug. What?
Yeah, that's also considered.
Rug?
Yeah, spitting on people.
Not on the person. He just spit on the rug. He just disrespects it.
Yeah, that's wrong. What is the point?
Okay, he goes there.
What does this have to do with using it?
The point what I'm trying to say is that when it comes to black people finding offense of things that they feel is offensive, you're like, well, why don't y'all just stop being offended by the word? However, if I then showcase a situation where another group of people, where someone tries to disrespect them, you can't repurpose the disrespect. You want black people to repurpose the disrespect.
Great. There's a great analogy here. Do you see how you're equating this individual word that doesn't have real meaning unless you to the holy?
Every word has meaning, brother.
The word of God compared to the word.
If the word has no meaning, if the word has no meaning,
you are equating the word of God.
Oh, benevolence. Yeah, in New York we got Jewish police. Jews get to have their own police in New York. But yeah, let's get back to this. Shout out to benevolence in the building. Shout out to everybody in the building. We got 260 people in the building. I think that's a record. I don't know. Let's build it up. Support the stream. Make sure y'all making the like. Y'all hitting that like button. Make sure y'all making the likes look like the views.
To a slur that is outdated.
Okay, yours. All right, you said that the words don't have meaning.
That's the whole point. You cannot have
those. If you claim words have no meaning,
it's not equivalent to this individual word.
Okay, if you say word has no meaning, say. Oh,
is that what you're saying?
No, I'm saying I'm asking you. I'm asking you to say it because it should have no meaning, right? There's a meaning to it, right? Clearly, like you wouldn't say that, right? Because there's an intended meaning if you're saying.
Do you not see the point that you're making? How are you equating
words have meaning, brother?
How are you equating God? Disrespecting God, the Almighty, something that we have faith in, to something that only has meaning if we attribute meaning to it. God has meaning without us.
So
this hard R word.
You can't disrespect God, but you can disrespect a whole group of people.
That you give to it,
brother. You're saying so. What you just told me, you can't disrespect God. Okay, get it, and I agree. But you can disrespect an entire group of people, and your solution to that is that the entire group of people should just not be offended. Because you're doing both. Whether you say the hardy are or you say.
Do y'all understand what Sneako is trying to say? Because when presented with a similar scenario, you understand why you cannot repurpose disrespect, but don't understand it when it comes to us saying, yo, we're not about to start repurposing every word he calls us. Well, like he calls us slave, now we calling ourselves slaves, right? He calls us the hard R, now we calling ourselves the hard R. At that point, he becomes a slave master for real.
Exactly. He becomes a slave master for real. And yes, I saw somebody make a comment. We do have Jewish police in New York. Matter of fact, I did a video about it. Matter of fact, let me switch gears real quick. Let me show you this. Share this screen. Can y'all see my screen? Yeah, we did a video. I did a video about this. Yeah, we do have them. They not quote unquote technically police, but they technically police. Yeah. So yeah, that's on my channel. So if you want to see that video, go subscribe to my channel and go look it up. You'll find it. But yeah, let's get back to this. Matter of fact, let's play a little bit of this. So I'm arguing with the NYPD. But again, if a group of black people did this, the NYPD would come and arrest the black people. Like, you're not doing this in no New York or nowhere else. You'll never have nothing like this. That's completely out. That's out. That's out. Out. Never allow this. Like, they would never allow this. Like, shout out to President Jafar for mentioning this, so we could like go into this in detail. Because again, like, I think there's been some confusion about this. Yeah, yeah, definitely some confusion surrounding that. But yeah, let's get back to this. Shout out to everybody in the building. Shout out to everybody in the building.
But do y'all understand what Sneako is trying to say or trying to get across? Let me know in the comment section, okay? If you're watching this video and you want to watch another good video,
I shouted him out. I thumbs it up. I'm like, all right, you did a good job, Poetic Flacco.
click on this video right here to find out. Again, the same guy they're talking about, Chud, he just shot an unarmed black man, but instantly received karma right afterwards. Click on this video right here to find out what the instant karma was after shooting an unarmed black man.
We already talked about that. Shout out to everybody in the building. Shout out to everybody in the building. Shout out to everybody in the building. Again, make sure y'all making the likes look like the views. Let me see. It's getting late, so it's like, yeah, let's just keep it going. Matter of fact, somebody sent this to me. Fahima, are you in the building? Because you sent this to me and you said Tariq was using this to be this Foolio situation to be a xenophobe. So we're gonna get into that right now. We're gonna see what Tariq got to say about the Foolio situation. He's most likely gonna claim everybody involved is a black immigrant who's trying to make black people in America look bad. So yeah, let me make sure my audio's still good. Audio's still good. Let's get into it.
That's Mr. Murphy. When he was arrested, you will see tattoos. You see many on his neck and chest. He has a 1200 tattoo on the back of his neck. He has the name of people from 1200 who have been murdered tattooed on his body. And in this video, you will clearly see in the evidence Mr. Davion Murphy taking full credit for his role in this shooting. That is just after his arrest, when he is left alone in an interview room.
Based on Mr. Gathwright's age, physical abilities, things like that, do you think that the prison would benefit from him in a work capacity if he were sentenced to life without parole?
I say yes. With my experience, not only just in classification, but as former ward and even as a jail administrator, he's someone that's young, he's healthy. In reality, we need that labor, we need that sweat equity, and we will put him out there to work because we do have an aging prison population, jail administration, we have that. So we put these young individuals to work and get some sweat equity out of them since they are young and actually can do the work.
All right, we got slavery. We got them debating slavery. Like, again, I don't know why Tariq ain't talk about that. We got a whole conversation in the courthouse about what kind of sentence they should get based on how we can work them as a slave. Like, oh, do you think they should get the death penalty? Do you think we should send them here? Because he's like, they look kind of young. So how much work can we get out of them? So that's what y'all call slavery in Florida. Sweat equity. That's what y'all call it. Sweat equity. Like, what does that have to do with anything? It'd be one thing if somebody destroyed property and you're repaying your debt to the community because you destroyed community property, and now you're going to work to fix up community property. But how does this benefit Foolio's family or anybody who died by allowing y'all to enslave these brothers for corporations? Because if they do any work, it's going to be corporations that benefit from it. Yeah, sweat equity is crazy. Diabolical sweat equity. Like, how is this even a part of, like I said, they just doing this in the open. Sweat equity. But instead of addressing the slavery, I bet you Tariq is going to be talking about some type of nonsensical xenophobic nonsense. About he's going to do some xenophobic nonsense about, oh, these are tethers. How do you know, Tariq? I guess because of the hairlines. Yeah, let's keep going.
And we talk about life without parole and death row, but for our jurors' education, in Florida, what does a life sentence without parole mean?
A life sentence in the Florida Department of Corrections means from the minute they're brought in, they're assigned an inmate number. He will be assigned an inmate number, and when he dies and leaves in a body bag, he will still have that inmate number. An inmate serving life will never, ever get out. There is no parole in the state of Florida, and they're not ever allowed outside the razor wire and the fence of a secure facility.
So the only way that an inmate serving life without parole would leave is when they die by natural causes.
Ms. Gathright, you have characterized.
I heard they don't got no parole, but that's the reason why you got to appeal the sentence. Like, if you can't appeal the verdict, you appeal the sentence. That's how you do it. He said, is that warning an Indian? Probably an Indian. He probably is. He probably an Indian. Probably is, probably not.
Your and your brother Sean's childhood as a good, nice, loving childhood growing up.
Why do they got the I heard that because I didn't watch this. This is his sister. Why is she on the stand for? Like, what is the point of her having them putting her on the stand to talk about their childhood? He drove his people's car and had a shell catcher. Yeah. H1B1 warden handling tethers. Can't make this up. Leah, let's keep it going.
Isn't that true, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am.
You said that both of you had wonderful, loving, supportive relationships. Isn't that true, ma'am? And specifically when talking about male role models, you said that he had a wonderful relationship with his stepdad, Brian.
Yes.
He also had a wonderful godfather. His grandmother, Lisa Gathright, you both had wonderful relationships with her as well.
Yes.
And her husband, before he passed away, your grandfather, both you and your brother Sean had an amazing, loving, supportive relationship with him as well.
Oh, that's why this is going on. This is about a sentencing hearing where they're trying to convince people to give them life instead of the death penalty. Oh, I see it. I see it. So that's what it is. Man, for all that, they should have just pled guilty to begin with and pled guilty to like a flat 30, flat 25, flat 40. Why even go to trial? What was the point of this? Why even go to trial? If you knew that you was quote unquote guilty, because again, I didn't follow the case and they got all this evidence against you, you could have pled out. That's the whole point. Plead out. They would have pled you out to something less than life. You wouldn't be in a situation when you got to choose between life and death penalty. You could have just said you was guilty up front and you could have got like 20 years or something like that. 20 years for this. 20 years. See you in Valhalla. You think, okay, Cash Patel. You said there was so much evidence against them. So why not just plead out? Why not just plead out? There's plenty of people who done killed people with way more evidence against them, and they did it in way more brutal and vicious fashions. That just they said, you know what, we ain't going to trial. We pleading out, and we gonna get out, and we gonna have a release date. Why even play with them like that? Why even play? Not Valhalla. Shout out to everybody in the building. We got 270 in the building. Let's keep this going. This is sad, but it's like, why even let it get to this point? I would have just pled guilty. I'd have been like, you know what? I did it. How much time you going to give me for pleading guilty? Flat 35? Yeah, as far as I can tell, they didn't cop a plea. They went to trial and they got found guilty. That's crazy. Like, you know what, like the lock said, copping it out, never taking it to trial, holding it down. I ain't taking this shit to trial.
And you all were living in Japan. You said that Sean was had a lot of activities. He was very good in karate. Isn't that true?
Yes.
So good, in fact, that he got a blue belt in karate.
Yes.
So he was able to participate in a lot of activities. Isn't that true?
Oh, so that's why they crying. This is a sentencing hearing. So it makes sense to cry. For all you don't know, the courts will have mercy on you if you cry. Like, I watch situations where people turn 40 years into 5 years by simply crying and copping out, by crying and copping out and saying, I'm sorry and begging for mercy, turn 40 years to 5 years. I see other situations. I think like AR Av's situation, he would have got like 15 years, but he ended up getting like what, 45 years because he was in court, acting tough, acting like he, no, I'm not gonna say acting tough, just wasn't acting contrite and all that other stuff. He wasn't acting like he was sorry. So the judge gave him 45 instead of giving him the 15. So that's why they doing this. So yeah, it makes sense. Yeah, showing remorse, like all this crying and all this stuff. Yeah, that could get you out of what you call it. That could definitely get them that life sentence if that's what they aim is. All this crying and your family talking about how much of a good kid you were, and you got the other dude coming up there talking about how we can get a lot of sweat equity out of you, and you're gonna be a good slave, so it makes no sense to kill you. Yeah. So yeah, this makes sense. This makes sense. This makes sense. Shout out to everybody in the building. Yes, you could get less time for showing remorse. You could get way less time by showing remorse and pleading guilty. Showing remorse, pleading guilty, crying and all that will always get you less time. It ain't gonna get you less time if they gotta find you guilty. They find you guilty and then you want to do all this crying and stuff like that. That most likely ain't gonna help you. It might help you in this situation where they got to choose between life and death penalty. But it's just like a regular sentencing hearing. Yeah. Yeah, that might not help you at all. You said he had 2 daddies and still messed up? Because, you know, sometimes it be in people. Like, you may have a good dad or whatever because they might not have been active in his life. They might have just been supporting him monetarily, but they never was like active, like bringing him into stuff. Like, all right, here, son, come with me. I work here. You gonna work here, and keeping him out the streets. They might have just been giving him stuff and letting him wander. But yeah, let's get back to this.
True.
Yes, ma'am.
Very supportive family, both your mother as well as his grandparents.
Yes, ma'am.
Made sure that he was active and had lots of activities, including sports.
Yes.
Traveling.
Yes.
I have nothing further, Your Honor.
Okay.
Before we get started, don't forget we have
oh, so all right. So that's what it was. But yeah, now we're gonna get into the video with Tariq, the bozo, see what he got to say.
Memorial Day weekend event at the Hidden History Museum. That is May 23rd. Ladies and gentlemen, that's next week.
Shout out to everybody in the building. You see Tariq promoting his comedy club. That's supposed to be a museum, but you turn it into a comedy club. Let's fast forward.
Not this coming Saturday, but the Saturday after. So I want to see you in the building, ladies and gentlemen. I want to see y'all in the building, ladies and gentlemen. It's going to be a stone blast. So get your tickets at hiddenhistorymuseum.com. hiddenhistorymuseum.com, ladies and gentlemen. All right? Yeah, May's flying by, ain't it? Yeah, the tickets only $29. They're very, very reasonable. Very, very reasonable. The dates, May 23rd. Saturday, May 23rd, 7 p.m. All right? All right. Let me get into it. You know what we got to talk about? The first thing I want to talk about, I've been following that trial down in Florida.
Oh, so yeah, here we go. Thank God for like triple speed. Oh, shout out to Lord of Slaughter for setting it off for himself with the 199. Thank you so much. Much appreciated. Much appreciated. Yeah, sweat equity. That's crazy. I never even heard nothing like that. Yeah. Don't kill him. Keep him alive so we can get that sweat equity out of him. He's young, he's strong. We're gonna get some good labor out of him. Nigga, that's plantation talk. That's like plantation, like a slave ran away and they're like, yo, we about to kill him. And it's like, nah, don't kill him. Don't cut him up too bad. He young, and we gonna get a lot of good work out of him. Don't cut him up too bad. Don't cut him up too bad now. Yeah, let's get back to this.
Case of the rapper, the former rapper who's got unalive, Julio.
Shout out to everybody in the building. Also, thank you again. That's the second donation. So we need 8 more, and we're gonna hit our goal.
Foolio. For those who don't know, there was a rapper named Foolio down in Florida who was beefing with a lot of cats down there. They were just doing a lot of street beefing. Were they in Jacksonville? Where my Florida people? Were they in Jacksonville? I want to say Foolio and those cats were out there in Jacksonville. All right, my Florida people, right. So Foolio was very disrespectful when he was alive. Boy, he would write raps about unalived ops and go to the graveyard disrespecting, doing music videos and, just going out of his way to be disrespectful, playing with the streets. And
exactly, visionary. That sound way worse. Even though it's effectively like kind of the same thing, it does sound way worse. Shout out to everybody in the building. Remember, if you can't support monetarily, thumbs up, fire emojis, all that helps. Hit that reaction heart. Yeah, let's get back to this.
You know how the streets do, unfortunately. Everybody, they got their lick back. There's a bunch of them. Plotted and planned to get him. They caught him at his birthday party. Some of his ops were tracking him, and some girls were giving locations to where he was going throughout the night. He had like a birthday party where he was kind of popping up in different locations, and there was some chick on the inside, basically, from what I understand, kind of giving up some locations. So they were planning and plotting. Yeah, he was acting a fool. He was acting a fool out here. He was baiting the streets, and the streets answered. He caught what he was looking for, unfortunately. And now the suspect, well, they hit him. They drilled him. They got him. And how many defendants is it? It's about 5 or 6 defendants. Well, they throwing them all under the bus. All right? They are throwing them under the bus. They're on trial. They've been convicted. They're all guilty, basically. And some of them are up in court crying on the stand. The little light-skinned one, but a lot of people are focusing on him. I forgot his name. The little light-skinned one. He's like part Jamaican. Didn't they have his Jamaican grandmama up there? Bumba Clyde. So he's like mixed with some.
I ain't seen no Jamaican grandmother. Maybe he does have a Jamaican grandmother. But again, what is the point of him having a Jamaican grandmother? There's 4 defendants up here. And Foolio got killed. Why are we focusing on the light-skinned dude with a Jamaican grandmother? Like, come on, man. Come on. Really, Tariq? Like, this is low. This is extra low. And it's like, come on now. This is extra low. And you got grown people watching this and thinking that this makes sense and this is cool.
He's not
almost at 300.
BA. But yeah, they're getting cooked down in Florida. Oh, they're getting cooked. And they're talking about the one little light-skinned dude. Oh, he was a good student. He grew up in the suburbs. He wasn't really a hood dude. And he's in there crying. And I know they were doing some cross-examinations on him. The prosecutor was lighting him up. They were like, yeah, is this you with the AK, sir? With smoke still coming out of it? Were you remorseful then, sir, when you had that AK? Yeah, they're lighting him up. So yeah, he was basically trying to get some hood stripes out here playing with the streets, and that's not what he was really about. All right. See, that's why, man, if y'all ain't about that shit, man, get up out the street shit. Y'all don't know the ins and outs. Cats be sitting here watching movies, doing reckless-ass nonsense. That's why real hustlers don't like all that old reckless nonsense. I understand, street rules are street rules. Sometimes you might have to clap back on ops. I get it. I'm not saying I'm not condoning it, but I understand how street rules are. That's the nature of the beast. I understand that. But some of these guys are so damn reckless and emotional. Just let it go. Get about these streets. You don't know what you're doing. You're going to get yourself hemmed up. You showing out. You letting these little hood rats talk you into drilling because you're trying to impress them. And they're sitting right up there on the stand with you. You understand? But listen, Thank you. Y'all say my wife is beautiful. Yes, my wife is fly. That is my FBA queen, Miss Alexis. Yes, indeed. Cheddars, they try to lie on my wife. They say she's all types of shit. They say she's Jewish, Haitian, Dominican, Puerto.
Your wife is Jewish. You said that out your own mouth that she's Jewish. You even acknowledge that your kids are Jewish. Because when you was trying to say Drake is not FBA, one of your people said he can't be FBA because he's Jewish because the bloodlines flow through the mother. And you said correct. Your wife's mother is Jewish. Your white mother-in-law who lives in your house that you take care of with all that pro-black money and buy her every dashiki known to man and was helping her in Haiti run whatever she was doing in Haiti. That lady, who was also a police officer, she's Jewish, which means Peanut is Jewish, which means when you had kids with Peanut, your kids are Jewish. Like, what are you talking about? I think we might have to go to that right now. Matter of fact, let's let them keep talking.
Ricans, she ain't none of that. That's an FBA queen right there. Well, she's not Caribbean, and shout out to the Caribbeans. There's some lovely Caribbeans out there. My wife ain't one of them. She's an FBA. You know? But listen, excuse me. I want y'all to understand something. When y'all try to get out here in these streets, that pride, ego, adrenaline, all that runs the show with a lot of these new dudes, man. Y'all start feeling invincible. You're riding around with your little clique. You're drilled up. You're fueled by a beef. This dude is disrespecting your block. But listen, your street cred is going to vanish when you get up in that courtroom. Understand that. You better be able to stand on it. Don't go into court crying. All right, when you choose that street shit, hold your head up. It was one of them dudes in there. He's in there all laughing. It was one of the suspects. Did y'all see that? One of the suspects, he's in there. He already knows what it is. He's accepted it. He's in there giggling and laughing. He already knows it's a wrap for him. He's accepted it. Yeah. He has accepted that. Yeah. And listen, don't get in there crying and boo-hooing now. I want y'all to understand something. Listen, you can't operate on the streets like cats did back in the day. Y'all trying to move around like it's 1995. Now, the days of you out here just doing these blatant drills and all that shit, man, ain't no shadows out here no more, man. We live in a whole different world of Ring doorbells, Tesla cameras, traffic light sensors, license plate readers, cell tower pings. Boy, they had every inch of that crime caught. Do y'all know that when they were showing, dude, it was like a reality show. They had so much footage of them damn dudes. They had license readers following every move them dudes made. They had footage of everything. Do y'all understand that? Hotel cameras, Ring cameras, they showed them ditching the car, getting the car. I think one of the dudes, they used his mama's car. They showed him loading the pew-pews up in the car at one location. They had everything on film, dude. Damn. Yeah, y'all should have did like Chud and just made a reality show out of it because there's so much damn footage of y'all ass. Like, damn. They had footage of those dudes from the beginning to the end, dude. From top to bottom. Yeah, we live in a whole different world right now, man. There's dozens of digital eyes watching from every angle. You're not just fighting the police, man. You're fighting a high-definition reality of technology. Yeah, there's a network of cameras out here. So cats got to be cognizant of that. And understand how law enforcement, they allow some of the bullshit to go on. You understand? They know Foolio was out here baiting people and all that stuff. They know that. But they don't intervene. They just sit here. Okay, God damn, hold on. I'm sorry, these people keep making these damn requests.
Like, what's going on, Tariq? Like, say something interesting. Like, come on now. I'm about to put you even double the speed. Shout out to everybody in the building. Shout out to everybody in the building. We're about to put you in like even double the speed.
Missing my focus. I'm trying to focus and chop it up. But listen, man. Law enforcement, they could have stopped this stuff, but they don't want to. I want y'all to understand something. See, y'all think y'all slick because y'all getting away with certain things. You planning and plotting and you're getting away with the planning and plotting. They're watching your ass. They're still watching. They're just letting it happen. They don't step in because they see it boiling over on social media. They see y'all beefing with each other. You understand? Law enforcement stays on social media. The feds, look at TikTok, all the feds that be on here whining about our lineage. That's fair shit. But law enforcement stays on social media, instigating beefs, documenting beefs, watching the back and forth go on and on. And in their mind.
Now people who disagree with FBA are also the feds. And now it's a conspiracy theory. In fact, keep going.
They're gonna let the streets clean itself up. So they, in their minds, they're like, why intervene for a single altercation when you can just wait and let all the bodies drop and then get you a nice big Rico? You can get the whole pond, not just a couple of fish, get the whole pond. You know? You get the whole surviving crew with a massive Rico. You let all the players take themselves off the board and just sweep up the rest. That's exactly what they did. Yeah. And also what they want to do is feed the prison industrial machine right now. Right now, the jails are struggling. They need young folks in there. They were saying this in court, by the way, because they're trying to decide whether to give old boy one of those cats the death penalty or to give him life. And they had a warden up in there who is saying, yeah, give them life because we could use them in the jails. We need bodies to do work. We're gonna put them to work when they go to jail. They're saying all this in the open. Yeah, they're like, yeah, we can get some sweat equity out of them. It sounds like Django or some shit, dude. Man, did y'all see that?
That's a fact.
Man, they were saying the quiet part out loud. They were like, yeah, no, don't unalive him. Oh, he's young. We need young prisoners. Oh man, it was deep. It sounded like some slave plantation stuff. Like, yeah, we gonna work him. Yeah, he's gonna come in with an inmate number, and he's never gonna leave until he's gonna leave with an inmate number. He's never getting out. He's gonna be working for us forever. Yeah. See, a lot of people have a fundamental misunderstanding of how the system works. Jails and prisons are massive institutions that require bodies to justify their budgets, and they're profit centers, basically. So when you get into these deadly, senseless beefs, you ain't act like no boss. You're being an unpaid recruiter and inventory for the prison industrial complex. They want you to make mistakes like that. And a lot of these cats, man, they got a real disconnect between acting this stuff out and the consequences. I think a lot of these dudes watch movies. They think you can drill on people and then nothing happens. It don't work like that. It don't work like that at all. Pulling the trigger, that takes a fraction of a second. Especially if you don't know what you're doing. You ain't no real hitter. Now, you got some real hitters out here who know how to move and shake. But these are little goofy internet thugs who try to take that shit to the streets and then get hemmed up. You make your whole block hot. Your hood gave you up, by the way. You better believe, y'all, internet thugs who try to take it to the streets, your hood gives you up. Because when they start knocking on doors, asking questions, snooping around, what happens is that slows the money down on the streets. And the real street cats, they don't want them knocking on doors, coming down to the trap, asking about your dumbass unaliving some goofball rapper. That's bad for business. Nobody wants you to come down to the trap. Nobody wants you to come down to the chop shop with that. Nobody wants you to come down to the blade with that bullshit. You're messing up money. Yeah, that's how the streets think. You make the whole hood hot doing all that shit. Or a high-profile rapper.
That's how you think, Tariq. Now, Tariq just acknowledged that he would snitch for money, or he would snitch if his money get messed up. Tariq just acknowledged that. But also, let's get to this, because again, that's enough of him talking. I found this. This is Tariq turning his whole bloodline Jewish. Let's listen to this, because he just said that Peanut and them is not Jewish. You heard him. He just said his wife ain't none of that. Shout out to everybody in the building.
Saying there are
something sure
can't be FBA. What kind of weird?
According to their law, you are what your
His mind, but before it was called hype. When you could Tariq.
Type, what's up, dear?
Hello, everybody. I'm going to be very, very brief. For this revenue Shane guy, you already explained to him about the FBA side. Now, I am so sick and tired of trying to explain to these musty-ass people about Drake. When it comes to Judaism, they want to bring up something about the Bible. Those folks don't care anything about a Bible, okay? They have their own religious text that they follow. Being Jewish is matrilineal. That goes through your mother. It doesn't matter if he has an FBA father. So, according to their law, you are what your mother is. So, even if he was born in his bitch, he is still Jewish. His grandmother.
Okay, I gotta stop it right there. First and foremost, I gotta say, this is what I'm
again. Yeah, I hearing it, right? You heard what this lady say about FBA, about how it doesn't matter if Drake was even, if his father's FBA, it doesn't even matter if he was even born in America. The fact they got a Jewish mother, that means he's Jewish, because that's how they hold the bloodlines. And Tariq is agreeing with all of this. He's agreeing with all of this, by the way. So again, that's why I tell people that half FBA stuff and all that other stuff, that's made up. It's whatever Tariq wanted to be. But yeah, let's keep going.
talking about with the FBA goofballs. These cowards. Weakness, how like us or not anybody else lost with. We don't care what she talking about. She America, you got black FBA. What kind of weird the black one on your stuff is this? Hey, you see and all that other green right now?
Club, he something sure to the point where the go was father is Jewish. All of those folks are Jewish. His dad, like I posted years ago, was known as the grandfather of AIDS in South Africa, to the point where his name is something sure. And when Drake decided to make a club, he called it the Sure Club. That's how much Mr. Degrassi loves his lineage. All he does is go from place to place cosplaying because he has no connection to what it is to be us. And I'm gonna leave that alone. And I'm maybe we can just let that die. Thank you so much.
Thank you, beloved. Thank you, dear. But yeah, these folks played.
As you heard, Tariq co-signed everything she just said. For all you who don't know, Tariq's wife, mother, is Jewish. So according to what we just heard here, Tariq's whole lineage just turned. Okay, sorry, family, I got a phone call. But
yeah, we're gonna stop that there. But as again, you heard Tariq acknowledged that the rules of Judaism, how it works. And now he's saying his wife is not Jewish. So how is she not Jewish? But yeah, let's get back to this. Let's see if Tariq goes back to being a xenophobe, or he's just going to keep exposing himself as a snitch.
Y'all do a brazen hit like that with all them people involved? Boy, your hood is hot as hell. They went up in y'all hood and shook the tree, and everybody gave y'all up. They started giving y'all up left and right.
So what is it, Tariq? Did the hood give him up, or did the surveillance give him up? Which gave him up? But I'm pretty sure that's what Tariq would have been doing. That if Tariq had actually been out here and been trying to be a pimp like he pretends to be, or trying to be a Crip like he was pretending to be, Tariq would have been the person giving everybody up and justifying it by saying, well, I did crimes and y'all made the block hot. Mind you, these people are criminals. They supposed to do crimes. You just justified the crimes they did. Say you understand why they did it. And it made sense for them to do it. Now you saying that it would be okay to snitch on them because they made the block hot and made it harder for some people to get money at a time, period.
Yeah. Let's be real, man. There's a lot of clout chasing and self-snitching out here, man. You see, a lot of these situations are fueled by internet culture, diss tracks, Instagram live taunts. You know, you're trying to treat life and death situations like reality TV. So law enforcement don't even have to work that hard to piece together a timeline no more. So you're documenting your own downfall in real time. You understand? This is heavy stuff out here. So you got to be very careful. We'll say that the Tethers are jealous of me. Oh yeah, the Tethers, they hate that I get the level of respect that I get. Yeah. Bertie, what you talking about over there, brother? Speaking of Tethers, man. Oh, you see my lovely queen right there, Miss Alexis. Today, I'm a little tired. I had to get up early. She drops the kids off at school early in the morning. Because y'all know I'm up here with y'all asses late at night, so I sleep in. So she takes them to school in the morning. And so she called me after school. So I got in a car accident. Somebody hit the damn car. She was parked with kids in the car. And luckily nobody got hurt. But somebody hit the front tire of our Suburban and just knocked that shit off the axle. You know how the tire is like dented in? Oh, it's janky as hell. How did y'all know? Somebody said African. How the hell did y'all know? Yeah. How did you know?
How did African? How did y'all know? So now Africans are running around causing car accidents all throughout America. With a point where if you get into a random car accident, people just think African. The funny part about that is the only people I ever heard that stereotype applied to was Asians and Asian women at that. But now FBA is making up new stereotypes. I'm happy I didn't just end this video because I wanted to hear this part. Yeah. Keep going, Tariq.
Yeah. Y'all, how the hell did y'all know? It was a damn African woman. How did y'all know? But y'all knew before I could even say it. How the hell did y'all know? Y'all already damn knew. A damn African woman ran into the car and then started acting like it wasn't her fault. Yeah, she was like, yeah, this woman started yelling at me. She's like, yeah, why didn't you move? She's like, bitch, I'm parked. What are you talking about? Yeah, the African woman had a damn attitude. No, it was a woman whose kid go to the school. Yeah, her kid goes to my kid's school. Yeah. Now, she did have insurance level. We thought it was about to be a hit and run, but I think she went around the corner because there was already a school. The school police was there. So everybody saw what happened. It was very loud. Everybody saw what happened. So she gets back up there acting like my lady hit her. What is this shit? Nigga, you hit me. You did not move out their way. And everybody was like, no, ma'am, no, we saw you. We saw you, right? Even the police was there like, you bitch, we saw you.
Exactly. A new stereotype has been born, according to FBA. Oh, shout out to Red Pill Zulu in the building for the 20. Oh, of course. That's Tariq's MO. Just like now with this Foolio case. One of the dudes may have had, according to Tariq, a Jamaican grandmother. So he wanted to focus on him. So we watched 4 people I'm still going to say alleged, even though they've been convicted, be responsible for killing Foolio. And we're going to skip over all of that just to focus on one dude who may or may not have a Jamaican grandmother. Just like with the Louisiana thing. Tariq and the FBA still have not talked about the shooting in Louisiana. But they talked about everything else. Everything else. Like, it's weird. Nah, he not another Dennis. Dennis is a bozo clout chasing behind him. Like, remember, Tariq is the origin that these bozos is copying. They clout chasing his wave. Tariq created FBA, not the other way around. Shout out to everybody in the building. We almost got 300 people in the building. Make sure y'all hitting the like button.
She's sitting there acting like she's the victim, and you hit a parked car, Unchuke. You hit a parked car. You know? Dude. So yeah, I was all day. So we were towing it, getting the car towed. Then I had to tow it to the house. And it was real janky. The tire was all janky. They had to put it on a flatbed, and then I had to call my insurance company and then get with her insurance company. Yeah, it was a whole thing. So it's getting taken care of. But yeah, this damn African tether hit my lady and my kids today.
Tether is a slur. You see how he just used the word tether. You got into a car accident and you're calling somebody a tether for a car accident. Not for them cosplaying, not for them undermining a car accident. Tether is a slur.
That's funny. Y'all already knew what it was. Somebody said it was a win for tethers. So was it the tether trying to get back? Was that what it was? Man. Yeah, no. But yeah, just the audacity. The woman had an attitude. You know? Man. And yeah, my lady said her car was already dented up, like she's already been in a whole bunch of other accidents. You know? So it looks like she's been in a whole bunch of accidents already. Yeah, and her insurance company is real janky. It's like a real janky ass insurance company. Like one of these old no name, low budget ass insurance companies. They're like Hot Pockets insurance. It was some real janky ass insurance she got. Some old bullshit ass insurance. I'm like, man, come on, dude. Yeah. The wife, the kids are fine. Yeah, everybody's fine. Mateo's ass was like, so we ain't got to go to school? Well, get your ass in that damn school. My son, he be trying to get his ass up out of school. He trying to finesse himself up out of school all the time. I know, well, get your ass in there. Yeah, man. But that is what it is. I got y'all.
That's enough.
I hear the chirping in the background. One of my alarms, my house sounds like Rohan's house. One of my smoke alarms is beeping. I don't know which one it is though.
Oh, yeah, that's enough of that. Shout out to everybody in the building. We got 260 in the building. So yeah, let's move on. Because this is another one from what you call it? For Fahima. I don't see her. I think she probably not in the building, but yeah, I'm just gonna do it right now. Shout out to Fahima. This is as far as I know, this is Tariq talking about Puerto Ricans and cosplaying and hip hop. He can't get off hip hop. Like, Tariq, you gotta let it go, bro. You gotta let it go. Microphone check was a failure. You didn't move the needle. The origins of hip hop are still known and they still remain. But let's see what he got to say.
Civilized Native, let me get you up then, brother. Civilized Native, hop on in, sir. Said you wanted to read a source. What's up, Civilized Native?
Hey, can you hear me? Sorry.
Yes, ma'am. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. What's on your mind?
So I wanted to read this source. It's really important. I've been showing it like on my panels and other panels.
Now, what's the source about?
So it's about how our people went to Africa, right? This is a source specifically written by a Kenyan man in the year 1939, April 29th, 1939. And the title says, "The American Negro is Africa's Hope." I just wanted to read 2 paragraphs really quick.
Go ahead, dear.
Okay, thank you. So I'm gonna zoom in so y'all can read it with me. "It is not reasonable to believe that after spending many dollars for bettering the living conditions among Africans, that they have not improved and as they were before. It is believed that the ugly picture of savagery is made by the missionaries because they believe that if they tell of the advancement of the country, the public will cease to give to the cause. The American Negro has played a large part in the eradication of the common disease in the Congo, continued Colonial El Muhammad de Ali V. With the aid of various missions established by the numerous denominations, through bubonic plague, sleeping sickness, and black water fever are rarely heard of in Africa today. Prior to this time, the country had the highest unalivement rate. Now it has the lowest. This is not the only way in which the mother country is being benefited by the generosity of its American citizens. There are many Native Africans who are enjoying educational privileges at many colleges throughout the United States, made possible by the efforts of the race. So I thought that was really important. A lot of times you get different Africans up on panels who forget their history. Yeah. Our people who were free took their sources and resources over to Africa, provided them these different things, so much so they eradicated disease from these people, then gave them education and the means to come to America and then be civilized. So I just thought that was really important. I know
I don't know what she's reading from, but what does that have to do with FBA? FBA never did nothing for nobody. FBA is a hate cult. I'm pretty sure, let's say, for example, what she read was accurate and true. Those people would never affiliate with FBA. In fact, FBA would be attacking those people for doing those good things. So what are we talking about here? Like, this is, again, FBAs are the biggest cosplayers in the world. They love this word cosplayer, but they are the biggest cosplayers. They constantly try to cosplay as the black people who have actually done things in America who would never fuck with them. Like, do they believe Martin Luther King would ever be cool with anybody who was FBA? Martin Luther King, who left and went to Ghana to celebrate Ghana getting its independence. Martin Luther King, who constantly was in the Caribbean. Martin Luther King, who his photographer, one of his photographers, not the quote unquote FBA one who was a snitch, by the way. His real photographer, who was really his man's riding with him, was from South Africa. Like, he got platformed and got mainstream by Harry Belafonte. That was his big homie. Cindy Portier helped finance them. He worked with Kwame Ture, formerly known as Stokely Carmichael. He talked about how Marcus Garvey is responsible for black people in America having pride, installing pride in black people on a large scale. He would never, ever, ever be cool with anybody who was FBA. He would never, ever, ever promote FBA. But they will try to cosplay and hide behind this man. Let me see. What did you say? I hope you don't think it would be riding for. He would, because he did. And matter of fact, it's not even would he be riding? Black American is anybody black in America. That's why if you know the civil rights movement, most of the leadership, a large swath of the leadership, and most accomplished people in the civil rights movement were Caribbean. Who has the most civil rights W's in the courtroom? Constance Baker Motley, the civil rights queen. That was her name at the time. People refer to her as a civil rights queen. She is Caribbean. She personally got Martin Luther King out of jail one time. If you ever think anybody could have disrespected Constance Baker Motley and he would have been like, well, Constance Baker Motley, you of an immigrant background and this person is of a native background, so I'm going to allow them to disrespect you. That would have been out. Remember, Marcus Garvey is the biggest black leader of all time. A lot of black people in America got put down and got their face cut, got killed, got all kind of things happen to them for disrespecting Marcus Garvey. And it was black people from America doing that. Like, we gotta get it together. Black American just mean anybody black from America. We don't do this whole FBA division. Black people in America have never even had an ethnic identity. Our identity has always been racial. Our identity has not even changed since slavery. On the plantation, if you was black, you was just black. It didn't matter whether you came from Cuba, You came from Africa, you came from Jamaica, you came from Haiti. It didn't matter. Once you hit that plantation, you was just our people. That's it. You got the blood, you our people. This is what I was talking about earlier with Sneako, playing plantation games. If he would have been if we was back then, he would have been seen as the people. He would have been seen as a sellout, but seen as still as the people because he got the blood. That's how the identity works. You said I'm lying? All right. We're going to take a little break real quick so I can show you. Matter of fact, I'm going to show you better than I could tell you. But first, we're going to show you Martin Luther King, what he had to say about not just Martin Luther King, but also, what's his name? What is his name? Adam Clayton Powell had to say about Marcus Garvey. Matter of fact, we're gonna start. I'm gonna start it off with Marcus Garvey, and then I'm gonna kill you from that point on. Let's see. Let's see. We right here.
Does that make sense?
Can y'all see that?
Facts. Historically, whose blood got shed more?
Let's see something.
Adam Clayton Powell said, Marcus Garvey was one of the greatest mass leaders. King Jr. said, in the history of the U.S., Garvey was the first man on a mass scale to give millions of Negroes a sense of dignity and destiny and make the Negro feel that he was somebody.
You saying everything I'm saying is underwhelming.
You heard that? Now we're gonna go to something else. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Matter of fact, can y'all see my screen? Y'all can see my screen, right? All right, let's go to this.
Department of Justice, January 27th, 1923. 26 days after Rosewood. With regard to the attached, Marcus Garvey, a Jamaican Negro and British subject, is head of the biggest Negro organization in America. I know they don't like this. And I mean, let's be honest. Should they? Shouldn't the Justice Department be looking at us like there's something wrong with us, Black Americans, that the biggest Black movement in America is under the direction of some fucking Jamaican? I'm sorry, man. Maybe everybody, I'm Black, so it don't matter where Black man came from, that's lead me. No, nigga, you look fucking stupid to this white man in America. It's documented how stupid you look, nigga. The biggest organization in America is ran by a fucking Jamaican? Are you serious? But not just any Jamaican. The biggest Negro organization in America is being ran by a Jamaican under indictment in federal court. He's under indictment in federal court with Black Americans willing to testify against him. So we look like fools. We look like fools to the feds. Fuck what people got you believing. Go read it for yourself. We look like fools to these people. In some ways, these people think they saving your Black ass. This nigga scamming motherfuckers, killing folks, and y'all still following him.
Jeff, you said you don't take Marcus Garvey serious. That's fine. Black people did. Remember, he was the biggest leader at the time. He was bigger than every other Black leader combined at the time. Marcus Garvey is still the record holder for the biggest Black leader in American history. No leader is bigger than Marcus Garvey. And most other leaders you honor come out of Marcus Garvey. We just heard what Adam Clayton Powell said. We just heard what Martin Luther King said. Matter of fact, we about to go to, because I mentioned her, so we're gonna go next to her. Can y'all see my screen? This is Constance Baker Motley right here. I want to read this part right here. She was the first Black woman to argue at the Supreme Court and argued 10 landmark civil rights cases, winning 9. She was a law clerk to Thurgood Marshall, aiding him in the case Brown v. Board of Education. Motley was also the first, it says Caribbean American right here, but that is true. She's the first Caribbean but American, but she was also the first Black American woman appointed to the federal judiciary, serving as a U.S. District Judge of the United States District Court for the Southern District of New York. She got the most victories. Nobody got 9 victories. And again, that was her own 9 victories of her own, not including the cases where she was also a participant in as assisting it as a law clerk or second chair. She got the most W's. Nobody got more W's where you could point to cases and say, we as Black people got this right, that right, this right via the courts than her. And that, again, that was just the case that she argued before the Supreme Court, not including her other victories at lower courts. She was supposed to be the first black woman on the Supreme Court, actually, but sexism and racism blocked it. But she was supposed to be there at the same time as Thurgood Marshall. She, before Kamala Harris, who's also Caribbean, she was the most accomplished Black woman in American history. Some would even argue she's still the most accomplished Black woman in American history. But I would give it to Kamala because she's the vice president. She became vice president. So what else we gonna go to? Who else we gonna go to? Matter of fact, I think we could go to let me see. Matter of fact, we're gonna save this for a whole stream. We're gonna do a whole stream about this. We're gonna do a whole stream about this. I'm gonna violate the game. Let's get back to Tariq. We're gonna do a whole stream about this because again, I'm not gonna make it up as I'm not gonna just try to figure it out and find stuff as we go. That's gonna waste too much time. But here we go. Let's get back to this.
Hold on, civilized. Now, where's because I hear a little. You almost have a Caribbean accent. Anybody Caribbean in your family?
No, absolutely not. You said this last time. Some of your people said I was Puerto Rican. No, I'm on panels all the time. I grew up in Jersey and Virginia. My father's in the Navy. I have 0 Caribbean in my family.
Dad, Tariq, you so much of a xenophobe that you attacking somebody who's sitting here pushing FBA. Can't make that up.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, because that accent. You grew up in Jersey?
Yes, Jersey and Virginia. Yes, Lakehurst, New Jersey, on a naval base. Yes.
Oh, okay. And what your mom is from where?
My mom is from America.
What part of America is you?
Marcus Garvey left Jamaica to come to America because he was so great. Remember, he came to America to be the leader of Black people in America, and that's what he did. That's why he left. He left because he's like, all right, I outgrew Jamaica. Let me go to America and be the leader of all those people there. And he did that. He came here and was the leader. That's why he left. That's greatness right there. You left your own country, came to another country, and then became the leader of everybody. Not just the biggest leader of all time. A leader bigger than all the other leaders combined. Yeah, that's why he left. That's why he left. Because he was like, all right, let me go. Let me go.
She's from the South. We have roots in Mississippi, Virginia, Kentucky. Yes. Okay. Listen, understand this. If I was not American, I would not be in y'all spaces.
Okay. All right.
You don't never hear any other accents from anywhere else. You don't think that, like, we have New Orleans accents. We have the Gullah Geechee accent. Y'all don't ever hear any other accents? I'm confused.
Yeah, that's not a joke. Because I know I'm pretty good with accents. That's not a joke.
Right. But you got to think, when I'm saying, like, I've moved to different places and lived in different states, then, like, don't get so hooked up. If I'm bringing sources of information, I'm not going against my people.
I got
right?
it. I got it.
I've done my family tree. I'm farther in my family tree than a lot of people, right? So understand and know, if I have admixture, this is another thing I talk about. I talk about my admixtures. So I have different admixtures from Europe. I have an 8th grandfather from Spain, and he was brought here as a slave. I have his documentation, right? So I'm really heavy into genealogy. If I had Caribbean,
who came from Spain? Who was from Spain?
My 8th great-grandfather.
Okay.
And he was brought here as a servant/slave.
You know what's so funny? She just said she got admixture from Europe, but that's not knocking her FBA-ness. Mind you, if she had said I had an 8th grandfather from Nigeria, Tariq would have been like tether. But she said, I got an 8th grandfather from Spain, which means white. Tariq is okay with it. Again, FBA is just anti-black. It's just anti-black.
So, and then they moved into New Orleans, and then they mixed in with people there. So, yeah, just know and understand, like, I'm bringing up a source, right? So let's not get so caught up on the way that people speak. If a Gullah Geechee come up here, y'all gonna say they African?
You know what? Let's see you. Turn the camera around.
Why y'all want to see me?
Let me see something.
No, I'm not coming up.
Oh, why you
I'm not showing y'all.
Why you
Because
not?
every time I show myself, then you guys say I'm Hispanic.
Are you a red bone?
Well, not unfortunately. I love myself, but yeah, I get so confused. And this is what I do since I've been on TikTok. I come on here to read, to give y'all information, and people get caught up on the way that I look. Again, if I was Hispanic, go ahead.
Okay, that's okay. No, don't be defensive.
Right, like, but
that's the truth too. Why would she be coming up here giving y'all quotes and all this other stuff to try to make other black immigrants look bad that y'all don't even know about? Why would she be doing that?
Are your children, do you have light skin? You have a light skin, your children are light skin, right?
Right. Yeah, they all.
So unfortunately, you know what they're gonna say to your children? Your children gonna go into spaces and they're never gonna be enough. So they're gonna have to have very, very thick skin. Very thick skin. And God forbid, because you grew up in Cali, right? You know, Cali people have an accent too. So God forbid your children go to school.
Yeah, she sounds like she got an accent mixed from all over the place. She sounds like a little bit of New Orleans, a little bit of New Jersey, a little bit of Florida. Yeah, she sounds like a military person who grew up everywhere.
They have a Cali accent and they're light skin. For me, I've been fighting. I have 5 brothers, right? So since I was younger, I've always had to fight people because
they love that plantation. They love that master ancestry. Can't get enough.
People like to play with me in person. You know what I mean?
I just want to see what your hair looks like. That's all.
Hold on.
Let's see what your hair looks like.
Hold on. I'm putting a mask on now. I'm not showing you my face. That's another thing. Africans are on this app trying to dox me, so that's another thing.
Put a mask on. Put a mask on. Let me just see what the hair looks like. Let me see.
Y'all so petty.
Let me see what the hair looks like real quick. That's it. Just hop on real quick. Let's see what that hair looks like.
Hold on.
We're gonna see what's going on.
You are funny, and you.
Oh, she's getting a mask on. Let's see what the hair looks like. All right. Let me see what's going on. Let's see. Let's see what's going on. Let's see you flip that camera around. Where you at? All right. Waiting on her to flip that camera around. All right.
Yeah, I have real long natural hair.
Let's see. Okay.
And I just got my hair cut.
Okay.
So yeah.
Okay, let's see the top. Okay, I couldn't see the top of it.
What?
I couldn't see the top. You were so fast. I'm trying to see the top of the hair, sweet. Let's see the top. Wait. Come back, sis. It was giving Afro-Latina. All right.
Okay, so what's the Afro-Latina though? Because the Afros are indigenous to America. So what's the Afro-Latina?
Okay, right.
Right.
Are you an Afro-Latina, man?
You want me to bring a source about Afros? So Afro's indigenous specifically to America.
Right.
So you're saying I'm an American Latina? Is that what you're saying?
Okay, it's giving Afro-Latina, man.
But what does that mean though? Like Tariq, what does that mean?
That means somebody who comes from a Hispanic background, right?
Okay. So because my hair, what kind of hair does your wife have? I'm confused.
Well, my wife she was just over here. I just showed her.
Right. But she doesn't have like long natural hair?
Yes. Tariq, your wife has the same type of hair that she does. Like, you so thirsty for content that you bashing your own people. She came up here, told you she was FBA. She coming up here supporting FBA. She doing a whole bunch of FBA nonsense, disrespecting black immigrants and all this other nonsense. But you now trying to claim she's an Afro-Latina based on her hair. She got the same hair as Peanut.
But she's not Latina.
Hold on, I'm so confused. So you're basing, hold on, relax. So you're basing my accent and my hair type and my color to say that I'm Latina.
It's giving Latina because of the accent and the hair.
So we don't have pretty, long hair, light-skinned women with accents in our community. That's what you're saying.
We have beautiful foundational Black American women. They don't have Hispanic or Caribbean accents, though. They don't.
I think that's really like, again, if I was Hispanic, right? If I was Hispanic, I would be in Hispanic spaces.
No. I mean, I don't know.
Like, you got to think, right?
Yeah, you got to think. Matter of fact, I'm about to put let me just let this play.
I'm not saying, listen, sweetie, I'm not saying you are, you're not. I'm just saying it's kind of giving the vibe. I'm not saying you might, I don't know. I don't know your background, dear, but I know a lot of FBAs. Like, Mom, I got a bunch of FBAs.
You want to see my father? I'm going to put my father.
I got a bunch of FBA women in my family. And just the accent. I'm very good at accents. That's just, I don't know where in America that accent is from. That's the problem that a lot of people I seem to have. It's the accent. I mean, you don't sound like, your family's, you don't have our accent, and it's okay. It's okay. This is not an indictment. Sound like you might have Puerto Rican ancestry or something like that, or
I don't have Puerto Rican ancestry. Y'all being disrespectful, right?
No,
I guarantee you. No, but listen really quick, Tariq.
No. You're our sister. I'm not being disrespectful. I don't want to be disrespectful.
But listen. This is the thing, right? I came up here with a source.
Yes,
I came up here with a source to let my people know the greatness that we have in our culture, in our community. If I was half and half anything, I would have been very genuine and came up here and started and stated that to begin with.
And your hair is
your
hair is very beautiful, by the way.
Thank you, I appreciate it. I don't get anything from coming in the spaces. I don't get anything from coming in here. I can go on and be on my way and be in other spaces and collect whatever I can collect from you all's government if I wasn't an American. Right. I go hard for my people for a specific reason, right? And also I teach people about being indigenous for a specific reason.
Exactly. This is literally, she's literally a pretendian, FBA pretendian, and they attack and help them better attack Africans to clout chase, because that's what this is about. That's what this is about. She probably turned one of these FBA bozos down, so they started the rumor that she was Puerto Rican. Because again, it's just a xenophobic hate cult. So if they don't like you, or you do something they don't like, or you say something they don't like, they'll just accuse you of not actually being FBA, quote unquote FBA. That's what they're gonna do. Oh, you disagreed with Tariq? You might have a Jamaican grandfather. Oh, you said you was from New Orleans, and you disagree with Tariq? That means you Haitian. Oh, you disagree with Tariq and you from New York? That means you're a Black immigrant. Oh, you light skinned and you disagree with Tariq? That means you Puerto Rican. It just don't stop.
Because I know I have admixture. I know I have people from Europe. I know I have people, like I said, an 8th grade grandparent from Spain, right? So I understand and know my history. So when I'm in these spaces, I teach people, make sure you do your genealogy, because we have different admixtures. I don't have any Caribbean, any Puerto Rican, any Mexican. But the fact that I come up here with a source and I'm showing you information, then you go on to call me an Afro-Latina, which...
Is that Tariq playing Mexican music in the background?
On top of that, Afros are indigenous to America. But it seems like somebody of your stature, right? You're very smart. I'm surprised that you even stated that when Afros, they were denouncing the African hairstyle in Africa. So I'm confused why you would call me an Afro-Latina. You're basically calling me an indigenous American with Latin admixture. So you yourself are basically calling me an American, and I appreciate that. I'm gonna go ahead and go and step off your panel though. You have a good night.
Thank you, dear. Suave.
Oh my God. See, this is the problem. Y'all go on Tariq. Y'all think y'all his friend. He'll disrespect you for clout, for clicks and views, You pouring your heart out to him. You really on that FBA stuff. You said Africans are trying to dox you. You got ops now for pushing FBA. And look, you just talked to your FBA daddy and he disrespected you and accusing you of lying and saying that you Puerto Rican. Shout out to all the Puerto Ricans. I'm not saying something's bad with being Puerto Rican. I'm just talking about from their FBA nonsense.
Suave, suave, suave. All right, okay, dear. Okay, she got very defensive. Okay, bless her heart. Bless her heart. Bless her heart. The accent. You have a very pronounced accent. Shit. I don't know what to tell you. She has a very pronounced Caribbean Latin accent, which most FBA women don't have. No, I don't know. I'm just trying. We don't have accents like that. We don't have accents like that. I don't know that. Yeah, I don't know, and it's possible. I guess some people can. I give people the benefit of the doubt. I mean, there's sometimes people can hang out with certain people and then start picking up their accent or whatever. But that accent sounded Latin Caribbean. It sounded kind of Latin Caribbean. I don't know. But respect to her. I'm not trying to denigrate. I'm not trying to be disrespectful.
You are trying to be disrespectful. That's why you was playing the music. Shout out to everybody in the building. We got like 300 people in the building. Make sure y'all hitting that like, family. And if you can't support monetarily, fire emojis. Hit that reaction heart. That's gonna help. But again, if you want to support and you don't want to be seen, PayPal, Cash App. You can let me know on a PayPal, Cash App if you want me to shout you out or you want me to do something for you. You can let me know. Also, shout out to everybody who has donated so far. We almost at our goal. Let's get halfway to the goal. At least halfway to the goal. We got like an hour left. Shout out to everybody in the building.
Disrespectful. I'm not trying to be disrespectful. I'm not. She was a lovely lady. I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but I'm pretty good with accents. Boy, I can listen to an accent and kind of figure out where somebody's from, especially here, because all my family is here. We got regional accents that we can kind of pick up on. I know when somebody's from the West Coast. I know when somebody's from the Bay Area. The Bay Area has a certain accent. LA, different parts of LA have different accents. Inglewood has its own accent.
New York and Jersey has their own accent. She don't sound no different. She sound like she from New Jersey.
All right. Compton kind of have their own accent. Yeah. She was cool. She was cool. I'm just saying. Memphis, they got their own accent. Memphis, Louisville, St. Louis, all those Mississippi River areas, they got their own accent. Houston got their own accent. We know New Orleans got their own accent. Birmingham, Mississippi, you can tell their accents. Atlanta got their old accent.
This is dry. Let me put you in double speed.
The Gullah Geechees, they got theirs. Baltimore, they got theirs. You can just kind of Philly. Those Philly girls got their little nasally ass voices. Them Philly girls, I dated a bunch of Philly girls with them little nasally ass voices. They got their accents and their slang. Oh, I can tell where somebody's from. Yeah, man. Yeah, that Philly talk. Oh, I know all the slang. I dated a Philly chick. Like, hey, them Johns. Yeah, I was at the store and this John was looking at me. I was looking at these bulls and these Johns. I know the slang, the accents of all these places. You know.
They was not talking like that when you was if you was ever at Philly. You just be making stuff up. But yeah, keep going.
But bless that young lady. Bless her. All right. Bless her heart. All right. Bless her heart. Let's get Brother Different. You want to come on, Brother Different? Hop on, Different. Brother Different, hop on in.
Like,
what's up, Different?
Hey, brother, how you doing?
I'm good, man. How are you?
I wanted to ask you a question about that stuff when you was talking about the man when he was talking about hip hop. His name was Lil Ron.
Oh, look, we got to the part about hip hop. Finally got to the part about hip hop. Shout out to everybody in the building who helped in me getting through that.
And what's that man?
Little Rodney C.
Yeah. It's a question I want to ask. He was saying about all the original DJs before the 1970s. He said that they're not hip hop, but they wasn't funk. I mean, not funk, but they wasn't disco neither. Like he said all that, but them guys wasn't disco. And like the sad part is, a lot of them guys, they helped train them dudes to DJ. So don't really understand how they wasn't hip hop. Like
this nigga dumb. Just because you help train somebody in one aspect doesn't mean they can't go on and create something totally new that you're not a part of. Like Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. That's a whole separate and distinct martial arts. But how do we get Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu? It comes out of judo, which somebody in the Gracie family learned in Japan. And then they came back to Brazil. They created Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. It's its own separate and distinct martial arts. The people of judo did not do Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Two different things.
Like, they didn't have all the stretching and everything yet because it was just starting. But it's just crazy to me how they X out, DJ Pete Jones and DJ John Brown and, Disco King Mario and all them guys when they actually trained them how to use like the record and the vinyl and all that because they taught them. Because it was DJ Pete Jones. I didn't know he taught Flash. So these dudes were training these dudes.
Yeah, I think he was like a record guy. Flash was his record guy for a second.
Yeah.
But he didn't teach Flash how to scratch because DJ Jones wasn't scratching.
They didn't know all that yet. It just started. But they were still doing all the stuff that was called hip-hop, but they were doing it in the mid-'60s. So I don't know why they like...
That's not hip-hop. That's like somebody saying, oh, we had cars before Europeans. And I say, oh, really? And they show me somebody in ancient Egypt riding around in a chariot. And saying, yeah, it's not technically a car, but it's a car, though. You got to remember, like, look, they're getting from one place to the other. That's what you basically saying. Even if, again, they was doing all of this stuff in the 60s, they did not put it together and they were not doing it the way they were doing it. Like Tariq correctly pointed out, those people you named, they weren't scratching. They weren't doing none of the techniques that we associate with hip-hop. And the dude said, yeah, you're right. But how do you X them out of hip-hop? Because they not hip-hop. Duh. It's easy to say, well, they help inspire the people who created hip-hop. They help train the people who created hip-hop, but they not hip-hop themselves.
Just, just kind of tossing them off like, they don't really have a thing in it when they're literally was the ones who was like actually giving them the game.
Right. Okay. Let me thank you, brother. And I get where they're coming from because we talked about this in microphone check. There is a difference between the disco DJs and the hip hop DJs. And sometimes the lines were blurred a little later on. They were kind of doing some similar things. So there was a distinction because a lot of the disco DJs were slightly older. They played in the disco. They mostly focused on disco, whereas the hip hop DJs focused primarily on the breaks. They played in the parks. They played where the kids were, the younger crowds were. So there was kind of a difference, and they encapsulated all of the culture because a lot of the disco DJs, because they were older, they didn't want people breaking. They didn't want B-boys coming to the disco because B-boys really couldn't get in, first of all, because you needed dress shoes and suits and shit like that. So a lot of the B-boys couldn't get in. You understand? So there's some credence to it. I get that. I get it. And that's why y'all need to watch the movie Microphone Check. We break that down. So I get what Rodney C. was talking about. And Rodney's a legend. Let's be very clear. Rodney's name should be up there with Flash and Kaz and Hollywood, all the heavyweights. Rodney C.'s name should be right up there because Rodney's been there from, he's been there.
Tariq can't kill hip hop. He can't kill hip hop. Like he's not killing hip hop at all. He's just engaging in babble. And we are just debunking it because we don't want this to catch on. But he is not killing hip hop. He can't kill hip hop. Him crying about some nonsense, whatever he's crying about, that can't kill hip hop. Again, Tariq is from Alabama. Country bumpkin Tariq trying to talk about hip hop that he wasn't even around for. Yep, here go Tariq line again. Yeah, let's get back to this.
There's mixtapes from the 1977 with Rodney C on them. Y'all can go to YouTube. These brothers on mixtapes going back to 1977. So Rodney C, he's the certified hip hop icon, man. He doesn't get enough due. He really doesn't get enough due. You know, one of the first guys in hip hop to make a record, him and the Funky 4 plus one more. One of the first group that I think weren't they the first to get on national television with Saturday Night Live? Yeah. So yeah, he was a part of a lot of milestones. Yeah. Let me see. Keep It Real. All right, Keep It Real wants to come up. What's up, Keep It Real? Keep It Real, hop on.
Yeah, can you hear me?
What's up, brother? How are you?
Yeah, I just want to touch on the last brother point. I don't understand how Ronnie C was saying Disco King Mario was a hip hop when Bambaataa was his apprentice.
Right.
Lil C, whatever his name, no disrespect to him, he says Bambaataa is hip hop. How can you say Bambaataa hip hop and Mario not? And Busy
Easy, because Disco King Mario was not doing hip hop. You see how that worked? Somebody can learn from somebody and then create something totally new that other person that they learned from wasn't a part of. And y'all don't even know the history and the story around Disco King Mario like that. Like a lot of people are telling you, even if I had DJ FaZe up here talking about it, Disco King Mario was basically a gang leader. He wasn't even really even doing music like that. And also the funny part is the people who was really doing the music around him was Puerto Ricans. Hollywood DJ, Tex DJ Hollywood is Puerto Rican. Even DJ FaZe had to acknowledge that. So if we acknowledge in Disco King Mario as a part of hip hop, then who else is a part of hip hop? Tex DJ Hollywood, which means that Puerto Ricans are part of the origins of hip hop. By your own logic, by trying to include Disco King Mario as part of the origins of hip hop, you lose the debate.
ZB and Shy Rock both got their starts MCing at Disco King Mario jams.
Yeah.
So I don't understand that. I got another question for you though, brother.
Yes.
Microphone check is so important to preserving Black American culture.
Yes.
My whole thing is there's obviously a push for people to not see it. And I understand you got to get your money. I'm not telling you not to. You a hustler. But I think it's more important that eyes get on it. So I was thinking like, why don't you hit up your homies at platforms like 85 South Show or Comedy Hype? Tell them to post it on their YouTube page. That'll get millions of views. That'll kill all.
That's not gonna kill anything. You can't have a first of all, Tariq, like you said, Tariq, I know you a hustler and you got to get your money. It's crazy you following somebody who you know will hustle you just to get money. He'll say anything to get money, but that's who you following. Also, that's not gonna matter because if they did do that, they would diminish their own platforms because people would say this is bullshit. You do know multiple people who participated in Microphone Check denounced Microphone Check, right? And they said they got tricked into being into it, or they was in it under false pretexts. You do know that, right? Also, how do you have a hip hop origin DVD and not have Africa Bambaataa, who was alive at the time, DJ Kool Herc, or Grandmaster Flash in it? How you do that? You don't got Crazy Legs in it. You don't got Disco King Mario in it. No, not Disco King Mario. Excuse me. DJ Disco Wiz in it. You ain't got Phase 2 in it. You ain't got like, how you having an origin story like that and you ain't got none of these people in it? You ain't have Grand Wizard Theodore. What's his name? Yeah, Grand Wizard Theodore in it. You ain't have none of that.
The narratives, because you killed the narrative with that movie. I mean, you can't dispute the words of the founders, people like Coke LaRock and whatnot. But the problem is a lot of people not seeing it. So just my whole thing is, I think it'd be a good idea for you to maybe post it on your YouTube page. Just run a blitz. Post it on your YouTube.
Oh yeah. You're right. Phase 2 has passed away. Because that's what I was saying. I said Phase 2, and then I kind of tried to take it back. I think he did pass away. Because I was like, was it Phase 2 who passed away? Or was it somebody, or am I thinking about somebody else? But yeah, I'm still a little confused on that. But yeah, I'll look into that.
YouTube page, post it on 85 South Show YouTube page, and y'all can, discuss the splits and whatnot, because it is your movie. Post it on Comedy Hype YouTube page, et cetera, because it'll kill all the narratives, because we need eyes on it. It is so important because I see articles almost every day trying to rewrite hip hop history. We don't have no eyes on Microphone Check. I saw it, but You know, we just need eyes on it. I understand you got to get your bread.
Okay, well, you said it's
Yeah, I'm happy, Tariq, you cut that bozo off. But again, you know what's so funny that he just proved? That how is people able to rewrite quote unquote FBA history that everybody knows? According to FBA, everybody knows the history. Tariq was just affirming the history, but other people are able to, that are not a part of our community, not a part of our culture, can just rewrite the history, and we in danger of losing our history. That's crazy. That's like somebody who is not Cuban or Puerto Rican trying to rewrite the origin of salsa music. And it's Puerto Ricans and salsa, Puerto Ricans and Cubans is like, we need you to put out this DVD because we about to lose our culture. How does that work? How does that work?
same thing over and over. Go to Amazon and just buy it. Shit, it's only a couple bucks. Yeah, they put eyes on it like that. They don't see it. It's only a couple of dollars to see it. Just go to Amazon and watch it. People saw it, and we were selling out theaters. Yeah, people saw it now. Don't get it twisted. Yeah, we were selling out movie theaters with it. Yeah, and what happened was them white Hispanics start calling the theaters trying to sabotage the movie.
No, what happened was you was using people's intellectual property without their permission. The funny part about Microphone Check, Tariq tried to use pictures from the 70s to try to prove that there was no Puerto Ricans a part of hip hop, and the person who took the pictures was Puerto Rican, and they were Puerto Ricans in the pictures. Like you debunked your whole self with that one, and then you had to start using AI images.
Because they were mad because we told the truth about Puerto Ricans, so they start getting behind the scenes, calling the theaters, talking about, yeah, we use their photos without.
Exactly. I didn't even see this part. Yeah, you use their photos without their permission. And again, the people who took the photos were Puerto Ricans. Not only that, the people in the photos were also Puerto Ricans. So how are you presented these photos as proof that there were no Puerto Ricans a part of the origins of hip hop, but the people who took the photos were Puerto Ricans, and they were also Puerto Ricans in the photo. Didn't you debunk yourself?
Permission and all that old shit. They're doing little hoe ass stuff, which proves they weren't a part of hip hop, because they a little hoe shit like that. That ain't hip hop. You ain't part of the culture. Oh, they were doing all types of little devious.
No, some of them pictures was from the 70s also. I forgot the guy's name who they said he took the hip hop's baby pictures. Yeah, he took some of the most famous pictures in hip hop. It was from the 70s. You said I don't know what I'm talking about? How I don't know what I'm talking about? Explain. You just debunked yourself. You said I'm talking about Puerto Ricans being a part of hip hop. You basically said I didn't know what I'm talking about. Now you're saying there were a few of them. There could have been 2 of them. That still would make them a part of the origins of hip hop. And again, also, you don't know who is who. That's how Tariq was showing those photos, and it was Puerto Ricans in those photos, and he didn't know because they had dark skin. You don't know who is who. Like I gave this example before. If you take the B-boy Trixie and you take Alpo was Spanish. Trixie said his family's from South Carolina. If Trixie walked past you and Alpo walked past you, Trixie went to the left, Alpo went to the right. I came up to you and said, which direction did the Puerto Rican walk into? You're going to say to the left. You're going to point at Trixie. If I say, where did the black person walk at? You're going to point to the right. You're going to point at Alpo. And you're going to be wrong. People don't know who is who. I think y'all failing to realize that. People don't know who is who. And also in New York, Puerto Ricans and black people are one people. They always been one people. The friction that started between Puerto Ricans and black people came with migrants and immigrants. People migrating from the South in the 60s, black people, and Puerto Ricans migrating from Puerto Rico in the 60s. The original black New York population was not beefing. Matter of fact, let's keep playing. Let me show you this.
Sad stuff. What's up, beautiful flowers?
Hi, Tariq. Can you hear me?
I can hear you, dear. How are you?
Yeah, fine. You know what, Tariq? I was in Africa in 2017, 2013. And they always say that we over here, they say we are all the same. We all look alike. I don't even have to say anything in Africa, and they know I was different.
Oh,
Our
yeah.
phenotypes are different.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Our
They know.
They know, but they always say we all together. We all the same. And also I have a t-shirt says Foundational Black American.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a lot of white people stop me and ask me what does that mean? And I explain it to them. Oh, so you're not foreign. I say, no, I could trace my family back to 1630. Oh, that's before my family. They came in like the 1800 and 1700. So, I have that information.
Yes. Like, this is nonsense. And what part of Africa did you go to? Because Africa is literally the most diverse continent on earth. There's like every look that exists outside of, like, damn near every look that exists, every phenotype, every feature exists in Africa and all over Africa. What are we talking about here? Like, what are we talking about? Dag. Also, let me see. What's this? Let me see. Let's go to this. Let's see. Let's go here. Shout out to everybody in the building. As you can see on your screen, this is the Harlem riot of 1935. This was a race riot. How did it pop off? It popped off because rumors sparked that a black Puerto Rican teen shoplifter was beat to death. Again, if I showed you a picture of that kid, you wouldn't know that he was Puerto Rican. You wouldn't know. Again, that's how New York operated. This is 1935, almost 100 years ago. And the Puerto Rican population go back in New York to like what? 1910, 1890, 1880? Like, what part of that don't you understand? You wouldn't know who is who. Like, again, we just talked about phase 2. If I showed you a picture of phase 2, you wouldn't know he was Puerto Rican. Just like when we talked to DJ Phase, what did he say? When I brought up Tax, DJ Hollywood, what did he say? Well, I didn't know he was Puerto Rican. When he tried to argue no Puerto Ricans was around, I said, what about him? Oh, we didn't know he was Puerto Rican. Nobody knows who is who. Exactly. There is, matter of fact, I'm gonna make this statement. There's nobody in New York who is Native Black American, got Native Black American roots, whose grandparents were New Yorkers, parents were New Yorkers, and they were New Yorkers that don't got Puerto Ricans in their family. Not one of them. Not one of them. If you could say your grandparents is New York, your parents is New York, and you New York, and your family come from the South, you got Puerto Ricans in your family. You got Puerto Ricans in your family. Phase 2 was Puerto Rican. See, you didn't even know that. Phase 2 was Puerto Rican. Exactly. See, people do not know that. And again, I reference that. That's from the people that's from transplants. Remember, Nietas is a Puerto Rican prison gang. Them people who came to New York, who was the Nietas and doing all that, they wasn't New Yorkers. They moved here. Just like a lot of people who be like, oh, Puerto Ricans didn't have nothing to do with hip hop. I was there in the 60s. Them niggas moved. I was there in the 70s. I was there in the 80s. I was there in the 70s. Them motherfuckers moved from the South. They moved to New York. They moved there. Not true. FBA didn't, first of all, FBA is a hit code. FBA didn't build anything. 2, again, what people gotta understand, there is no difference. That's why New Yorkers, like when they talk about ethnogenesis, New York really had an ethnogenesis going back all the way to like the 1890s, 1880s, between Puerto Ricans, West Indians, and Native Black Americans. That's the genesis right there. Because if you really New York, not a transplant, You got a family. You got all those three groups in your family. All three of them. All three of them. That's why it would be easier to name. Matter of fact, I wouldn't even say it would be easier. But you can't. There's just one group. I guess we got to do a story about that too. I just explained who they was beefing with and who they was fighting. I explained that. Like, remember, King Blood is like, is he Dominican? King Blood is like Cuban or Dominican or something like that. He moved to Chicago, then moved to New York. He not a New Yorker. He moved to New York, caught a body, went to jail, and been to jail since. He not a New Yorker. The Neanderthals is straight from Puerto Rico. They not New Yorkers. In fact, they from the group that came up with the term New Yorican. For all you don't know, New Yorican is a slur. New Yorican is a slur. It was originally a slur, but it got reappropriated to mean something positive. That is a fact. That's New York history. Nobody, I dare somebody say they are New Yorker and try to refute anything I'm saying. Like the whole origins, the bedrock of Black New York is San Juan Hill. The Harlem before Harlem. Like at one time, the leader of Black people in New York was a Puerto Rican. What was the New York Puerto Rican? Excuse me. What was the New York Negro League team called? The New York Cubans. That was our team. It was called the New York Cubans. The Black team was the New York Cubans. What comment I skipped? I didn't skip no comment. I addressed every comment you put up here. Like, put it again. What comment I put up here? Jeff, you said I'm lying again. I guess we're going to have to do this again. Let me see. New York Cubans. The New York Cubans were a Negro League baseball team that played during the 1930s and from from 1939 to 1950. There you go. There you go. There you go. There you go. There it is. There you go. Look, these are the Spanish people that was also a part of the team. Look, he's Black. 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 Like, come on now. Come on. Come on. Like, what else did you say? You said I lied about? Let me see something. Shout out to everybody in the building. Shout out to everybody in the building. What else y'all said I lied about? What else y'all said I lied about? Let me get this off my screen. What else did y'all say I lied about? Let me look into this right now. We're gonna get to this right now. What else did I lie about? Can y'all still hear me? Can y'all still hear me? What else did I lie about? We said I lied. I want to know. Quiet minds want to know. What else did I lie about? 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 Let's see. What else did I lie about? What else did I lie about? Somebody said I lied. What else did I lie about? What else did I miss? Let me know. What comment? Put the comment back in there because you keep saying I addressed your comment, but I said I addressed every comment. So put your comment back in there so I could address it. Put it back in there so I could address it. Because you said I'm lying, so put the comment back in there so I could address it. Put it back in there so I can address it. Let's go. Here's the comment. You got to put the comment back in there. You type in to other people. You got to type to me. You said I didn't address your comment, so you got to address the comment to me. Don't address President Jafar. Address me. You said you're accusing me of ducking the smoke and hiding behind, not addressing your comment. Put your comment back in there so I could address it. Do that. Do me that favor. Thank you. Put your comment back in there so I could address it. Shout out to everybody in the building. What Puerto Ricans? What Puerto Ricans align with skinheads in prison? Which ones do that? And again, I already addressed the prison issue when I said that a lot of the Puerto Ricans who started that fighting that was going on in the 90s was from Puerto Rico, was straight from Puerto Rico. Like, which one is it? That's not true because, again, you know how many Puerto Ricans is blood in New York right now? Do you know how many Puerto Ricans is blood in New York right now? Like, do you even know who Magoo is? Yeah, let's. You said no, it wasn't. We talking about right now. I already explained to you what happened. You had a bunch of Puerto Ricans coming from Puerto Rico itself, the Nietas. That's a Puerto Rican prison gang coming here, and they was beefing. You had people like King Blood, who's like a Dominican or Cuban, who went to Chicago and then moved to New York and then got locked up. You had them doing that. That wasn't New York Puerto Ricans doing that. That's why it never spilled out into the streets. That was some jail shit. But again, how many Puerto Ricans is blood right now? How many? How many? How many Puerto Ricans is blood right now? Exactly. Exactly. Like that's cap. That's cap. Matter of fact, we're going to do it like this. We're going to do it like this. We're going to do it like this. Hey, shout out to everybody in the building. Oh, I got off my screen. We're going to do it like this. Let's see. Let's see. Wait, can y'all see my screen? Wait, let me do this.
For years, Pedro Gutierrez worked as the chairman of the infamous 15,000-member gang United Blood Nation from his prison cell in New York. His right-hand man, James Braxton, helped deliver orders and continued to lead the gang through prison.
What's good, y'all? What's the numbers, TV? It's your boy, Puerto. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed already. And like a video if you appreciate the content that Puerto and What's the Numbers I providing. Today, we back on another profile piece. This one is on Magoo. In this video, we're going to take a look at his early years coming up in the Bronx, New York. Then we will look for answers on the many different questions people have about Magoo's gang history and time behind bars in the New York State prison system. And lastly, we will talk about where Magoo is now after being caught up in a recent blood indictment out of North Carolina a few years ago. Pedro Gutierrez, better known as Magoo, is from the Bronx, New York. Growing up in that area in the late 80s and early 90s.
All right, I don't know this dude. I don't want to take too much of his content, but yes, that's Magoo right there. They are Puerto Ricans in blood. Like I said, one of the reasons they got so many Puerto Ricans in blood because you had Puerto Ricans who were born in New York, New Yorkers. They wasn't going and they wasn't with that program that others who were coming here immigrating were bringing. Oh, so King Blood is, like I said, he's a Dominican or he Cuban. One of the two. You said look up Pistol Pete interview. What does Pistol Pete interview got to gonna refute anything I said? What's that gonna refute? In fact, I watched many Pistol Pete interviews even before the internet when they were back to the DVD era. I heard him speak on this where he said, like, yo, when on the streets, my best friend was black, but if I went to jail, I had to roll with the other Spanish people, so I couldn't even deal with them. I heard him say that before. How does that refute anything I said? That doesn't refute anything I said. That didn't refute anything I said. But anyway, yeah. Shout out to everybody in the building. Shout out to everybody in the building. Matter of fact, somebody just sent me something. I'm going to see if I can look at that real quick. So we can switch gears. But again, we might have to do a whole live stream about this because, again, I don't know how anything I said was refuted. I don't know how anything I said was refuted. But, okay, well, how does that refute anything I said about New York? Okay, see, now we getting somewhere. Now we cooking with grease. You from Florida. I know Puerto Ricans don't bang with black people in Florida. My man is Puerto Rican. He went down to Florida and he said, yo, Florida's so much different than New York. You see how we all together? They're down there in Florida. They all spread out. So now I see where you coming from. You from Florida. See? Because I thought you was from New York. So I'm like, I'm a liar. I'm a liar. I'm like nobody from New York could tell me nothing. See, okay, now we cooking with grease. Now we cooking with grease. You letting it be known you from Florida. Okay. You said your brother was locked up in Rikers Island. That had to be like in the 90s, right? Like I said, I'm not refuting none of that stuff happened in the 90s. I'm explaining how it happened, who was the driving force behind that. That's all I was doing. So yeah. So see, that's why it's so good to talk. See, I ain't ban you. I ain't call you no name. I ain't disrespect you, Mr. T. We having a conversation. That's where the confusion was coming in. You from Florida. You said your brother got locked up in Rikers Island for a year. That's probably was in the 90s. And I was explaining to you how that went and why that was going like that. Shout out to you. See? Look what he just wrote. We've been fighting them since the 70s. Now, again, how does that go against anything I said? Well, how does that refute anything I said? And truth about slavery. Are you a New Yorker? And if you are a New Yorker, how far back do your family go in New York? Before we switch gears. You said in 2010. So your brother saying that he got beat up by a bunch of Spanish people in 2010 because he was black or something like that? Or that the Spanish people got their own side? Which one? Because if he's saying that they got their own side, that's true. There is a Spanish side. But not all Spanish people is on the Spanish side. That's because they are people. That's the thing. Y'all not from New York. Y'all don't understand. I think, again, I'm going to have to do a whole stream about this. Y'all not from New York. Y'all don't understand. We are one people. We not like, this is not Florida. There's not two different groups of people. This is not California where it's Mexicans and black. It's not like Florida where it's Puerto Ricans and black. It is just black. Black New York includes Puerto Ricans. That whole Puerto Ricans are black, Dominicans is black. That stuff started in New York. That's where that come from. That whole, Dominicans are black, and just saying that to any Dominican, that's New York. That's where this conversation started at, in New York. You said you from the Bronx? I mean, you say you from Brooklyn. So you already supposed to know the vibes then if you from Brooklyn. You supposed to know the vibes then. You supposed to know the vibes. Oh, shout out to that's amazing. 1814. You ever did a video? Yeah, I did a video exposing Boyce Watkins. I exposed him. Remember, that's why I gave him the name the Race Hoe. I was the one when it turned out that he's not even a boss. All that black boot camp, all that ownership, all that boss talk. He not even a boss. He worked for a nigga named Charles Wu. He worked for Charles Wu. He worked for Charles Wu. So I call him Charles Boyce Watkins Wu. Matter of fact, yeah, we could get to that. I'm gonna see if we could get to that right now. Shout out to everybody in the building. Yeah. Let's see. Let's see. And look, he tried to explain himself. Yeah, this is when he got exposed by Yvette Carnell. He got exposed bad because him and Yvette was beefing. Because remember, Yvette is also a bozo because she knew about that whole Charles Wu situation the whole time and only exposed Boyce Watkins because they fell out and Boyce wouldn't pay her. Let's see. Let's watch this video. Let's see what this is about.
Welcome to New Possibilities. I speak truth to power without fear. So you all know that I did a video about this controversy between Boyce Watkins and Yvette Carnell. This is a follow-up to that discussion. So for those of you who don't know, Yvette Carnell did this video right here entitled Your Favorite Black Capitalists Are Actually White Capitalists. I encourage you all to watch this video. It's hard-hitting. She makes some very valid points about Boyce Watkins and people of that particular school of thought. So I encourage you to check out her video. In this video right here that she did, she referenced another video, a video that this guy Charles Wu did. And this video raises a whole bunch of questions about Boyce Watkins, and it has started some controversy. I will summarize that video in a second. But in response to this controversy, Boyce Watkins did this video right here, Enemies in the Black Community. And I'm going to take time to respond to this video. That's going to be the focus of this video, just responding to what Boyce Watkins had to say. In addition to doing this video response to this controversy, Boyce Watkins did several other videos. He did this video where he's actually, I guess he's talking with Charles Wu. I didn't watch this video. This video is over an hour and 39 minutes. And he also did another video right here.
Yeah, we're not gonna watch that. We're gonna watch Charles. We're gonna watch. I think I found the better video. Shout out to everybody in the building. Not watching all that. Here we go.
Come on down to the Church of Finance, where you can hear the greatest sermon ever by Reverend Boyce Watkins. So come on down and bring your wallets and pick up his book for $59.99.
Now this is a story all about how my life got flipped, turned upside down, and I...
Are you a small-time business owner?
Have you had problems attracting new customers? Do you need Black people to support your failing business? Are you too lazy to research online? Are you dumb? If so, just stay tuned because we have all the marketing solutions to help you solve and fix all of your problems.
What the fuck?
I know exactly what you're thinking. Making any sales? Are you just
I'm not watching this. Like, come on now. Like, we're gonna see Charles Wu, Boyce Watkins. We want to see the video. We want to see the video of Boyce Watkins trying to explain himself. Yeah, he went crazy. Let me see if this is the video of him melting down. At least we got the video of him melting down.
It is one of the biggest scams targeting seniors in the United States right now. Schemes are growing at an alarming rate.
Good morning to you. Investigators say it is one of the most effective scams they've ever seen.
What you need to know to protect yourself.
I'm Barack Obama, and I approve this message.
I had people, come to me, for example, and say, "Oh, you shouldn't cuss so much in your live streams. When you cuss, it's just bad. It's not good. It's good. It's bad for your brand." And my response to them is, well, I understand that cussing bothers you, but I don't really give a fuck. I cuss. That's what I do. That's who I am. I'm a man who cusses. Okay, fuck that. That's just what I do. If cussing bothers you, then don't come. Leave, go, please, unsubscribe. I'm not in this game for popularity. I'm not in this game to get people to like me. I got mine. My people got theirs. The people that are with me, that roll with me, they got theirs, or they're getting theirs, and they're gonna be doing good. The ship, the Black people, the powerful Black people ship has been built. It's filled with Negroes, not Negroes, strong Black people. The Negroes are the ones who are running around here like chickens with their head cut off. It's filled with Black people who are going to do well in the future, and they're gonna be fine. I'm not really in this game to make friends. I'm not in this game to be popular. I'm not in this game for people to like me. And to be real with you, I don't really even give a fuck if you trust me. Now, why should I not give a fuck if you trust me? I don't give a fuck if you trust me because you shouldn't believe what I say just because you trust me. If I give you financial advice, you shouldn't just believe it just because you like me. You shouldn't buy into it just because you think maybe I'm charismatic or popular or powerful or important or intelligent or whatever it is. All these things that you might think about me, I think that's great and I appreciate that very much. But you need to verify the information for yourself, and you need to do it because it's good for you, not because I told you to do it. And so I bring this up because there were two things that kept coming up. One is this, the cussing thing. The other is that people keep bringing up this shit with Charles Wu. Now, I have told people 1,000 times, in the Black Business School, we have over 40-something different programs, several departments, dozens and dozens of people that we compensate as contractors. Charles and his program in the Digital Underground is one program. That's one program out of 40-something. And at the end of the day, when people ask me, well, what about Wu? What about Charles Wu? You work for this Asian man. Oh, this Asian man done killed your credibility, Doc. I'm like, fuck you. If I had no credibility with you before this happened, then you don't even need to be here. Why would you even listen to me? Why are you here? I don't want you here. I want you to go. You have no place here. Why would you listen to a lying ass nigga who's just on the internet talking shit? If that's who I am and that's what you think I am, then fuck you, go away and be somewhere else. If somebody else can give you better information or can give you better guidance, then by all means, let me make a list of recommendations for you, because I don't care. I gain nothing from influencing somebody who is going to lose faith in everything we've talked about because you saw me working with an Asian guy. Seriously, I have done 10,000 videos, 10,000 articles over a 20-year period, and you're focused on one moment. It took one situation to somehow crumble all the credibility that you had built up in your head. Well, then you was a shady nigga anyway, so go away. I'm sorry. That to me, that just isn't something that I can even respect. So my position on this is, look, I'm not trying to use the N-word. I do apologize for that part because I don't mean to. It comes out. I'm sorry. That's just who I am. I can't apologize for being me. But my point on all this is to say, when people keep bringing up the Charles Wu stuff, I'm sitting there looking at them like, wow. No wonder we get our asses kicked by every culture on this planet. No wonder we are in last place in damn near every category that equates to educational or economic progress. No wonder we can't build nothing because we want to burn everything down. No wonder. Because we will put all our energy into the dumbest shit, the most dumbest, irrelevant shit that ever came to be. I can tell you this. I'm going to tell you like this, just be real with you. I could go over to the Asian community and I could go and say something that's offensive to Asians or whatever. And there are some Asian people that'll be like, we don't like this guy, but he has information that we need. So we're going to get this information so we can learn how to do something better for ourselves. We're not trusting the information because we trust your credibility or because we like you. We trust the information because we looked it up and it's valid and it actually helps us achieve a goal. That's the objective. So when people ask me about the Charles Wu thing, I'm a little baffled by it. I'm like, okay, I think people enjoy the trolling process, which is fine. That's what you do. You sit in your mama's basement trolling people all day because that's why you ain't got nothing. That's why you're gonna go work for a white man on Monday because you don't put energy into building for yourself. You spend energy like destroying things that are black. Okay, fine, that's fine. But the thing that's interesting here's, I'll say this: when everything happened with Charles, it was like my thought was, okay, this is one program. It's a premium program for very serious crypto investors. And I can tell you, I said, so what do they think? I asked them, I said, so what do they would take a vote? Ask them, do they want to still learn from Charles? Do they hate him? Because that's who I'm paying attention to, are the people who are supporting the business. Most of the people who say something negative about your business are people who never supported the business in the first place. Most of the people who have something horrible to say are people who will never give you a nickel, never help you pay an employee. Now, all the black people, I've had probably 30 black people come to me for money this month, and I've helped them pay bills and feed their children and all kinds of stuff. They'll never help you do any of that. But so those people don't matter. If you weren't helping to support what we're trying to do as far as elevating the community, then your opinion does not matter.
It is one of the biggest scams targeting seniors in the United States right now.
Oh yeah, that boy was crashing out. He was crashing out, and he tried to make it seem like, oh, it wasn't that big a deal, blah, 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 blah. Let's look at this. I think I found the video. This is the video. Let me. Can you see my screen? Is my audio still good? This is the video of Charles Wu talking about how Boyce Watkins works for him, and his job is to sell hope to black people. Let's see. Let's see.
But now we do it, more formulaically. Is why do is we actually sell the why? Like when I explain what I do, I tell people I basically sell hope and dreams, and I fulfill it. Sometimes I fulfill it with SaaS. Sometimes I fulfill it with a physical product. Sometimes I fulfill it with an info product. But ultimately, I'm selling hope and dreams of some sort of desired end result. I don't know if that makes any sense. Absolutely makes sense. Yeah. So that's kind of how I look at it. So like if you look at it, and you got me thinking. So let me pull this up real quick on my end. I'm going to share my screen. Let's see how to do this. I'm going to share this right here. And this was kind of exciting for me, as a copywriter, side of things. You see my screen okay? You see like a presentation or whatever? Yeah, I see it. If you look at how we do it, in this case, we're selling like a children's education product, I'm not saying I believe it's a good product we put together. I'm not saying it's a bad product, but in the grand scheme of children's education products and stuff like that, there's thousands of them out there, right? It's like if you're selling like webinar software, if you're selling some sort of stat tool or whatnot, the reality is we're not that special snowflakes, it's all the same thing. But what we do is, if you can imagine, I hit it initially, I literally, what I'm selling, I don't view myself as selling, the problem is not to say buy my product. I'm trying to sell a movement or a change. So in this case, this offer that we have, we're focused on the African-American niche, and we're basically selling, we basically sell it as religion, right? So we're packaging as Black economic power needs to become the second religion. We're gonna sell you on how to properly educate your children, create your own job. Literally, this is what we sell. Correct. This is how we position it. And what's interesting, and this is actually great because we were on the webinar, and Boyce, who's he's the main character. He's like the pitch guy. He's my info product guy. Yeah. Actually look at it. We had we literally go completely off tangent, which is good. But it's let me just read this copy to you, and I'd be curious to get your opinion. So we're basically selling. Let me take that back. We are selling hope. We are fulfilling it through an online education product. But this is kind of the pitch. It's growing up, I was the black kid who wanted to be invited in the space of the white man. Blah 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 blah. And it's and I remember just having a day when I said, I'm not going to pretend to be somebody else. I'm not going to fit in, trying to hope that these white folks like me because I'm a good person. I learned how to love, well, like all this sort of stuff. It's like this self-realization point. And what's interesting is this is actually one of our, and maybe you'll think that I'm this evil person. This is actually a practice and planned effort to get to a critical close point. And actually, I was really excited because, and this wasn't planned, but like when Boyce was actually pitching, or not pitching, he was educating. We were all about educating, but we don't sell here. He was educating. He actually like this became like an epiphany moment for him. And I have him on, we're on like YouTube Live and the webinar and everything. He's tearing up. Like he cries for a good 30 to 45 seconds. And it's awesome. Like, let me see if I can find, like, I think.
Yeah, let me stop this real quick. As you heard, like he said, we're basically selling children's level education and packaging it as a second religion to and play on people's hopes. Remember, that's why I do what I do, and I don't like these people so much, because y'all playing on the people's top. They are real black people who really want the best for the black race. And they support y'all because they really believe in y'all. And y'all playing on their top. Like that sell black empowerment as a religion. That's what Jason Black was doing. He grifted that from Boyce Watkins. I know if he actually knew that Boyce Watkins got that from an Asian guy and this was some type of scam. I don't know. Maybe, maybe not. Maybe he was in on it. Because remember, Jason Black was locked in with Boyce Watkins at one point. When they did Black Empowerment 1 in Chicago, that event, I think Boyce Watkins hosted it and was a part of it. So I'm not giving him no pass. He probably knew about this too. He was a part of the scam. He was a part of the scam too. Yeah, I'm putting it out like that. Yeah, you knew about it. Yeah, you knew what Boyce had going on. You was running around talking about, oh, this is our religion. This is our religion. Black empowerment is our religion. But if you look around at them, we're not seeing no black empowerment. The only people getting empowered is the people running their mouth. They running up a check. The white people and the Asians behind them, they running up a check. But what about everybody else? I always told people before this even came out, Boyce Watkins, I knew he was lying to people because, one, he's educated. He's educated. He knows better than this. But he's doing this, again, to play on the tops of people who genuinely want to know, people who are young, who are looking for a better way, who want to create their own businesses. Because you heard him what he said, right? Oh, people don't want to work for the white man. They don't want to fit in. They want to do this and stuff like that. They playing on the people's top. They playing on our desire to be liberated from white supremacy. And this is a joke to him. Look, he's laughing. He's laughing about this. And what did he call Boyce? Our main character. To sell this. Oh, we don't sell stuff. Oh, to pitch it. That's what we dealing with. Disgusting. Beyond disgusting. Thank you again. That's so amazing for the double up, for the 5 again, and for even bringing this topic up. Because I think some people need to be reminded. And I guess, and maybe some people didn't even know this at all, that this happened. Because in this pro-black space, you can't kill nobody. You can only turn them into zombies. Think about this. Boyce Watkins going against Tariq did more harm to his YouTube career than him getting exposed for being a main character working for an Asian. That's another reason why I don't respect the people who are leading this movement, and I don't respect the people who are following it. Because it's one thing if you didn't know and you was new to this. Once you saw this, that should have been it. That should have been a dead issue. Just like when I put out the video with Mexicano Phil. How many people came to that video defending Phil to, oh, we already knew this. You only already knew this because he got exposed already. And y'all still following him. Shout out, thank everybody for the fire emojis. See, Visionary said he didn't even notice. He didn't even notice. Yeah, that's what I said, for the edification of the people. Sometimes I think I got to bring back some of these old receipts. I think I got to bring back some. I think I'm going to make sure I do at least one segment of bringing back some old receipts on these bozos so people know this ain't about clout chasing for me. I never even got paid through all the years of exposing them. I just started getting money. This was about something bigger. Like, how dare you do this to our people? And I wanted to bring awareness to this. Cinco de Mayo Phil. Yeah, it was put out this week. You ain't see it, Lee? Yeah, Mexicano Phil. Matter of fact, after we finish this, matter of fact, let me see something. Yeah, let me show you this real quick. Let's do this real quick, and then we're gonna finish that, and then we probably gonna call it a night. My channel. Y'all see the screen? You see the screen, right? Look. There we go right there. Mexicano Phil. Look at it. Mexicano Phil. Mexicano Phil. That's his name, man. Mexicano Phil. Felipe Phil. Exactly. Well, let's get back to this.
The video is still up somewhere on YouTube. If I could pull it up, we can find this real quick. You know, from earlier this week. Hold on. And now I need to find something that takes forever to load. But like.
Also, yes, Boyce Watkins brought helped platform a lot of frauds in the community. Yvette Carnell, Cynthia G, Michi X, a lot of these people. A lot of these people came via Boyce Watkins. A lot of the nonsense of like, oh, this black empowerment as religion talk came via Boyce Watkins. He definitely think he El Nino.
That point, like literally, like we spent like the presentation, we spent 4 minutes, like he just like broke down and was like, he just couldn't keep himself together. And the customer response in terms of comments at that time just completely blew up. And I don't know.
Yeah, I'm laughing about it, like about customer confidence blew up because Boyce Watkins was literally like on a stream crying, making it seem like he was so passionate about black people he couldn't even hold back the tears. And this Asian is sitting there laughing like, I can't believe these niggas are that stupid and ate this bullshit up. This kindergarten baby back child's education, they acting like they done found the holy grail. And it was brought to them by a prophet named Boyce Watkins. He's sitting here laughing about it. This is not funny to me.
Make it sound like it's completely manufactured, or well, I guess it somewhat is, but this was, you know, beyond my expectations.
He said, I don't want to make it seem like it's completely manufactured, but it is.
But like the phones or the online, you know, like the orders started bringing in because like people were able to emotionally identify with the why. They were able to experience that transition. Let me go find like
it sounds to me
like, because it was making fun. He laughing at Boyce Watkins' tears because Boyce Watkins' tears wasn't genuine. He's like he said, Boyce is just the main character. It's an act. This is fake. This whole all that black empowerment, black economic empowerment as a religion. We gonna teach black wealth, how to build back black wealth. We gonna do this and we gonna do that. We ain't gonna have to work for the white man no more. Blah 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 blah. It was a fake. It was all lies. It was all lies. Like he said, I don't want to say that it was manufactured, but it was manufactured. There was nothing genuine about this. There was nothing genuine about this. And and that's one of the things before this came out, I told people, I said, if y'all keep being so stupid in this conscious community, y'all keep being so stupid in this pro-black stuff, it's only a matter of time before outsiders start noticing it that say, hey, y'all stupid, and there's a lot of money floating around here. Let me create a character so I could get so I could get a bag. And I said, it's only a matter of time from that point, you start seeing racist white people say, hey, y'all so stupid. Let me create some characters. Let me put them out there to teach y'all to hate your own people. And that happened. And funny enough, that all came via Boyce Watkins. Boyce Watkins, the character. We get Yvette Carnell, the mother of the ADOS ideology. All stem from people falling for this kindergarten little kid manufactured act. All that stem from this.
Like, it went from a functional product up into an emotional product, right? And
Exactly, like the guy said, it went from let me get this straight. It went from a functional product to an emotional product. They selling hope. They selling hope. And then what happened when people finally realize they've been lied to? They get disillusioned, and then they turn into people who hate anything that seems to be pro-black. Because every time they see anything that's pro-black, even the genuine stuff, they still hate it because it's reminding them of when they got deceived, when they made a fool out of themselves. He is a professor. He is a professor. He's Dr. Boyce Watkins. That's why I said earlier, that's when I knew he was a fraud. Before all this came out, I knew he was a fraud. I said, you are a professor. You taught at Syracuse. You have a PhD. What is all this nonsense you talking? You know better than this. No, he was Boyce Watkins' boss. That's why he said Boyce Watkins was a character that we created. He was a character. He's a character. Oh, I didn't know that. I don't watch him no more, but I'm pretty sure he was bragging about that. Yeah, maybe I should do that, Lee. But yeah, that's not his partner. That's Boyce Watkins saying they was partners. That dude, Boyce Watkins, worked for that dude. Like he said, Boyce is a character. It's a character we put out there to sell an emotional product. Boyce up there crying. He said sales went through the roof. Make me sick too. Make me sick. But yeah, let's keep it going.
And
It's all
yeah, and
let me stop my screen here while I pull up the video comments, stuff like that. So,
Well, that's not all of it.
Before America's
I don't know who the person is who made that, but you know, they must have stopped. They stopped it right there because maybe they didn't want it to go too long. But yeah, they talked about how they used the fact that because this was around the time when you had mad police shootings and mad situations when black people was getting shot like crazy. And they was using that to say, well, we got to do this because you never know when you might get shot. Like they was literally playing on people's anxiety about being shot by a race soldier of some kind. All right, I'll look for that too. No, I make that same connection with Obama. But I explain it. The false hope with Obama was, but that was a lot of people playing on their own top. People saw Obama and thought Obama was going to get in office and give black people reparations, make everybody black rich, make them live tax free, give them land, give them all this stuff, and life was going to be great. And then when it didn't happen, they got disillusioned. They got frustrated with Obama. But Obama never promised nobody that. Obama never promised nobody none of that. He never said, vote for me and I'm going to make everything all right, black people. That was something that black people projected onto Barack Obama. I heard Reza Islam speak on that when I think he talked to Cam Ward. I think it's Cam Ward or whatever his name is. Excuse me, not whatever his name, but I don't know his name. The dude who got fourth and down the podcast. And he asked him, he said, did Obama do anything for black people? He said, let me rephrase the question, because what y'all really asking is saying, why didn't Obama do what we all expected him to do for black people? That's the real issue why people mad with Obama. They expected Obama to do a whole bunch of things that he never said he was going to do, never had the power to do. And they got mad and got frustrated with that. And then you had people like Boyce Watkins who came around and instead of explaining to people why they got their hopes up on their own and they shouldn't have been doing that, they started playing into the disillusion and saying, yeah, you're right. The Democrats betrayed us. Politics don't matter. We got to punish the Democrats. Blah, 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 blah. But that's not the case. Yeah, Cam Newton. Cam Newton, that's his name. Thank you, Cam Newton. He didn't push a lot of false hope and change. But again, also with the stuff that he said he was going to do, he did do. Obamacare, we got Obamacare. Also, you got to remember, Republicans were keeping him from doing a lot of things. Remember, they said we're going to learn from the Taliban. We're going to run an insurgency. We're going to make sure that Barack Obama never get nothing done. And they almost were successful. Like, we got to remember that too. That's what I said. There was supposed to be people out here to explain to people about the level of opposition Obama was facing. He was facing record opposition. Record. Let's see. Let me see if I can pull up a graph. Does it fill up? Let me see. Yeah, Barack Obama, the most filibustered president in American history. Most filibustered president in American history. Let me see. I think this is a good graph right here. Let me see. Shout out to everybody. Let me try to share my screen real quick of this. Look, I don't even think this was the whole presidency. 82 things blocked under Barack Obama. 86 blocked under every other president before him. These were just his presidential nominees. That's why when people say, "Oh, Ruth Bader Ginsburg could have just retired and Obama could have replaced her," that's not true. Not true at all. Most filibusters, most everything, most block nominees, everything. He addressed the most stuff he could do. He did the most he could do. Like I'm showing you, he faced more opposition than anybody else. Like it's only but so much he could have did, especially as the first black president. He had to worry about being called an angry black man and all this other stuff. He had to get through without no controversy. I gotta also remember that too. You thought I agreed with Cynthia G? I don't agree with Cynthia G. Cynthia G be telling people to abort, or if they pregnant with a black boy, abort the baby. Only keep the baby as a black girl. Why would I agree with that? Only thing I ever said positive about Cynthia G is that Cynthia G is the number one gender warrior. Like she has defeated all the other gender warriors in single combat. She or anybody who tried to debate her around gender. Umar, Kevin Samuels, all of them got knocked down by Cynthia G. That's why shout out to the Mad Head Doctor. He called her the queen because she defeated all of them. Kevin Samuels is the most successful gender warrior, but the gender warrior with the most W's, as in combat wise, not just in popularity wise, is Cynthia G. I give her props on that. But I'm not pro Cynthia G. I'm not pro no gender warrior. Yes, the tan suit situation. But yeah, maybe we could touch on that too, about try to go over Barack Obama and what he was doing. Yes, he was also opposed by conservative Dems. Like he couldn't really do the agenda that he even wanted to do, that he should have been able to do because of all the opposition. Not to mention all the other stuff, again, that black people was projecting on him that they wanted him to do. But yeah, matter of fact, shout out to everybody in the building. Shout out to everybody in the building. What? Dang, it's about to be 2 a.m. I gotta get up at 6:30. Can't believe this. Let me see something. But shout out to everybody in the building. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. South Carolina redistricting. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. South Carolina redistricting fail. Here we go. Yeah, I'm about to be done, but I want to do this real quick. I'm sorry I kept all y'all waiting. I didn't have this lined up, but I want to touch on this. For all y'all who don't know, the effort to redistrict South Carolina failed. Jim Clyburn will still be there. See, I should have had more faith in him, because I'm like, Jim Clyburn is literally the most powerful black man in the history of Congress, most powerful black person. But he's also currently one of the most powerful people who have ever been in Congress, period. I'm like, there's no way he wield that kind of power and they could just redistrict him like that. It wasn't going to work. Because again, you don't get that kind of power unless you got a lot of dirt on a lot of people. That's why I think why the redistricting scheme failed. He got a lot of dirt on a lot of people. Let's watch this.
We're continuing to develop a developing story tonight at 11 as the path to redistrict South Carolina has effectively ended.
President Donald Trump had urged South Carolina to redraw its U.S. House map ahead of the November elections, joining the national redistricting wave.
That move would have extended the legislative session if it didn't receive the required 2/3 vote to pass, with 5 Republicans joining all Democrats to reject the proposal. Members of the House previously voted in favor of letting lawmakers return after the regular session ends this week to consider redistricting. But the Senate's vote put those hopes to bed.
Our Nate Stanley has been following this story for weeks. He joins us now in the newsroom to break everything down for us. Nate.
Well, today, some senators pointed out concerns with this push for redistricting, including states' rights, as well as a process that so far hasn't included any public input. Take a listen.
When the General Assembly has looked at drawing maps, and that is preserving communities of interest. This proposal blows that up, right? This proposal has Clemson and Columbia in the same Senate and in the same congressional district.
South Carolina senators said no to an extension to the legislative session Tuesday that would have brought them back for the sole purpose of redistricting. President Donald Trump encouraged lawmakers to redraw the map that has 6 Republican districts and 1 Democrat majority district in favor of all 7 Republican districts.
The states are not mere political subdivisions of the federal government. The states are not here to take orders and direction. The states are sovereign, independent creatures. Those sovereign, independent creatures willingly relinquished certain powers and authority to gain certain specified cohesive protections.
The move was put on the express lane after the Supreme Court's decision on Louisiana's map, drawing concern from some.
We're just going to surrender this to somebody from out of the state who drew this map and not let South Carolinians participate in this. We're going to unnecessarily split counties. We're going to take counties that have always been together in a district and separate them. It just doesn't make any sense.
Richland County Senator Jackson says in the event a Democrat is elected to the presidency, South Carolina will want that representation.
If there is no one from South Carolina that has a relationship with those that are in charge of that party, at that body, at that time, who do we go to?
In a statement sent to WYFF, South Carolina Governor Henry McMaster says in part, the General Assembly still has 2 full days in which to finish its important work, including giving full consideration as sought by the people to the important question of redistricting.
Yeah.
A handful of...
It failed. It failed. Shout out to that boy Clyburn. He got a lot of power. He got a lot of juice. Let's watch one more. Let's see something because the governor's speaking on it now. Let's watch the governor speak on it. Shout out to James Clyburn. He top 100, man. Top 100.
And more breaking news tonight as the effort to redraw South Carolina's congressional map is likely now over.
That's right. This was a big talker for weeks. Now it seems it is over just as quickly as it started. Earlier tonight, senators failed to pass a bill that would allow lawmakers to take up redistricting after the legislative session ends, which is this Thursday. And this comes after weeks of debate and calls from President Trump for lawmakers to redraw the congressional map before midterms in order to gain more Republican seats in Congress. 5 Republicans today voted against it in the Senate. And that includes Senate Majority Leader Shane Massey. Massey has opposed redrawing the lines, arguing the current map gives Republicans the best shot at a 7-0 sweep for Congress.
I don't want to go 5-2. I don't want Hakeem Jeffries as the Speaker of the House. I think the best chance that South Carolina has to prevent that from happening is with our current maps.
Now, just after that vote, we spoke over the phone with Upstate Representative Luke Rankin of Lawrence County. He led the effort in the House, and today he calls it a shameful day for the Senate.
We've been working on this really hard over the past few weeks, and to see the Senate kill it is very frustrating. There's always an outside chance that the governor calls a special session to address redistricting, and really, that's our last shot at tackling this issue this year.
So you really think at this point, unless the governor calls a special session, it's over?
It's dead, and it's a shameful day for the Senate. And we're going to take note, and I think that the voters of South Carolina are going to remember the names, especially on the Republican side, that try to kill this thing.
Now, as you heard, the only way lawmakers can now pass redistricting this go-around is if Governor McMaster calls them back to Columbia for a special called session after this session ends, which is this Thursday.
I don't know if he's going to do that or not, but it still might not pass. Because again, like I said, I think James Clyburn got some dirt on those people. Matter of fact, I don't think, I know. You don't become that powerful as a black man from the South who grew up during Jim Crow, and you ain't got a lot of dirt on a lot of people. A lot of dirt. Like James, I don't think people understand how powerful James Clyburn is. That's why when your FBA bozos were trying to run down on him, act like y'all was like pressing him or something like that, y'all was looking hella stupid. Y'all could have got a lot more by trying to roll with James Clyburn than going against him. Yeah, that's the big homie for real, for real. Like via James Clyburn, like we got Obama, we got Kamala, we got James Harrison, we got Hakeem Jeffries. I would also believe we got Ketanji Brown Jackson. I think that's her name. Supreme Court lady. I can't really think right now. The medicine is getting to me. Who else we got? We got the biggest congressional black caucus we ever had. Who else we got from him? I would say we got Lord Austin from him. We got what's the other guy's name? Wally something. The Nigerian brother. Yeah, we came up. Shout out to Clyburn. He helped us come up. But yeah, let's finish this.
And tonight, just moments ago, actually, the governor releasing a statement with no mention of a special session. Let's take a look at that statement here right now. So it says, quote, the General Assembly still has 2 full days in which to finish its important work, including giving full consideration as sought by the people to the important question of redistricting. He went on to say, quote, I urge the General Assembly to finish its work according to the U.S. and South Carolina constitutions in the best interests of the people.
Now, all the candidates in the Republican race for governor have responded to the failed vote in the Senate. All of them had expressed some level of support to redraw the map, We can see their full response now to today's failed vote right on our website, foxcarolina.com.
And that's another thing I said about the Republican Party. It is a monolith. That's all they do. Like, they just gonna follow directions. That's it. But benevolence, yeah, it is not over. We always have a chance. As long as we alive, we got a chance. Like, yeah, that chance might be a long shot. That chance might be very slim to nil. But as long as we alive, we got a chance. And as long as we keep fighting, we got a chance. But we never going to be able to put up the fight we need to put up as long as we got bozos in the community pumping nonsense. We got too many people in the community who believe that nonsense. It's not the majority of us. The majority of us are correct. The majority of us see things how they're supposed to be seen. But yes, we still got a chance. Probably that. I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if James Clyburn got some grinded dirt on these dudes where it's like they was being gay on the low with like some black dude and James Clyburn got that information, or they got like a black mistress or something like that. I wouldn't be surprised. And he know about it. I would not be surprised at all. So salute. You already know. Like I said, we here, we talking. Like, I'm not blocking nobody. You may not, if you don't agree with anything I'm saying, just say it. You know, we here to have a conversation. We all here to get better together. So it's like, you know, talk. Like, just all I say is keep it respectful and make sure you answer the questions when I ask you back. Because again, if you asking me questions, I'm gonna answer the questions. And if I ask you a question, please answer it back. That's it. Remember, that's the whole point of the goal. Like, if you read the goal, we didn't make our goal tonight, but that's fine. We got halfway there. Halfway is better than no way, but we got halfway there. But as I say in the goal, I will answer all questions. So again, putting $1 on it, that helps fuel the chat, fuel me where I can answer all questions. You said you just joined the channel. Thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Oh, you probably just joined the stream, but whether you just joined the channel or the stream or both, much appreciated. Much appreciated. Yes, they're going to be in the next Congress. They might be small, but they'll still be there. They'll still be there. They'll be small. Their power will be diminished, and they won't be representing the majority of black people because, again, the majority of black people live in the South. And the ones that are being cut off, like having their seats erased, are all basically in the South. So the majority of black people will be without representation, which is what I said would happen. Which is funny enough because guess what? A lot of the Congressional Black Caucus members who are still there are in the North, and they are of immigrants' background. They have an immigrant background. So like I told FBA, all this stuff you're doing before it even happened, you're just empowering black immigrants. You're making Native Black American power diminish, and you're increasing black immigrant power, or those who call black immigrants. You're increasing their power. Thank you. But anyway, also, yep, like he said, donate if you want a particular video. You can hit the PayPal, the Cash App, the Super Thanks. You can just hit me in my emails. All the links is in the description box below. You can hit me in all my DMs. Let me know. It's like, so if you donate to me, please email me so I could go back and forth with you, and so I could make sure I got exactly what you want. It's in the pinned comment too. PayPal, Cash App. Support the stream. If you hit me in the PayPal, hit me in the Cash App, you can let me know if you want me to shout you out on stream or not. Because a lot of people be like, oh, they want to donate, but they don't want to be seen. So you can donate and I'll just salute you. Or you could donate and ask for something. But anyway, we about to end this stream. Yeah. 24, yeah, you did catch me live, but I'm about to get off right now. Dang, you in Europe? That's crazy. Yeah, so it's like, yeah, I got to get off because I got to get up in like 4 hours. I don't know how this ran so late, but yeah, I got to get up in 4 hours. But let's do our shout outs. Shout out to Justin March, my first moderator, for gifting 20 memberships. If he gifted you a membership, family, keep it going. And if the number's too high, just downgrade it. But Keep the memberships going. And family, you can hit that join button and get your own memberships. Make sure you hit that like button too. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. Make sure you hit that bell. And go subscribe to my second channel too. So, and I'm happy they switched it to red because it should have been red. It should have never been green. But yeah, shout out to Justin March. Shout out to Vibe 2 for the $4.99. Shout out to Lord of Slaughter for the $1.99. He's, as you can see, Lord of Slaughter is a member. He got that member sign next to his name. You can be a member too, family. Shout out to Red Pill Zulu. He's also a member. He's also a moderator too. You see, he got the wrench next to his name. And he gave me the $20. Shout out to That's So Amazing for the $5. Shout out to That's So Amazing again for another $5. Oh, 24. What's up? Yo, you just gifted people 5 memberships. Shout out to 24. He just came in the building and gifted memberships. Shout out to 24 for that. Also, again, family, if you ain't got no money to support, you can pay me with fire emojis. Remember, I'm outside of the algorithm. I got strikes on my channel, so I'm outside of the algorithm. If I want to be in the algorithm, it got to get there via support. So, family, you have to support me. You have to support me. And supporting is fire emojis. Supporting is hitting that heart, reaction heart. Support is thumbs up. Support is sharing the stream. There's a whole bunch of ways you can support for free. Salute, bro. Salute. Thank you. Thank you, Visionary, for the fire emojis. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. But anyway, I'm going to end it now. Hopefully I could be back here tomorrow and I could start earlier. I don't know. Maybe, maybe not. But yeah. But I'm going to end it here. What did you say? Nah, I don't believe that. I ain't jacking that. That ain't the reason why they did that. I ain't jacking that. Maybe I could look into it more, but that ain't the reason. You don't get 5 Republicans going left for that reason. 5. Like, remember, 5 Republicans went left. That reeks to me that somebody made some phone calls. Somebody got some dirt on somebody. But yeah, thank you for the fire emojis, Lee. Thank you for the fire emojis. Sub-Saharan African American legend. And yes, yeah, respect, bro. See you tomorrow. See you tomorrow. But I'm gonna end the stream with you for the gift of me the 5 emojis. The 5 memberships. And on that note, family, thank you, Tabitha. And on that note, family, peace.